Okay.
You said to yo it, bro.
Dude, no, you started going and I just literally just forgot. Welcome back to the Boolin podcast where we talk about random shit that you might like. I'm your host, Andy. We got Dylan, we got Michael, and we got Chris. What's going on, guys?
Lou.
Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up?
Yo,
How we feeling? How we feeling today, boys?
Pretty
I'm
good.
feeling good. I'm feeling pretty good.
I actually have
Feeling
light
pretty
in my
good.
great.
room this time. So
So you're light.
We got a couple things we want to talk to you guys. Before we get into it, if you guys are listening on Apple Podcasts, please give us a 5-star rating. It would help us a lot, and we'll appreciate it so much. Thank you. But yeah, man, let's get into it. I don't know much of what we're gonna talk about next, but it's Hideo Kojima petition from fans to cancel games. Who got that? Who knows a little bit
I,
about
think, I
that?
think Chris knows on that.
Go for it. Go for it.
okay, so just vaguely from what I remember was that Hideo Kojima was going to make games for or make an Xbox exclusive game, and
Oh,
he was no longer gonna make a game for Sony. Well, at least for this game, for this particular game, I don't know what it is, but so all the Sony fans, all the PlayStation people are giga triggered and they want to fucking they started a petition just to cancel the game because he went to Xbox for exclusivity.
That's some petty.
Yeah, that's really stupid.
yeah. One of the headlines.
What games has he created?
He created Metal Gear
And
Yeah,
Death
Metal
Gear
Oh,
Stranding.
Metal
Solid.
Gear?
Yeah.
and Death
Death
Stranding.
Stranding,
Yeah.
I've never played that game. I've
Yeah,
heard of Metal
it-
Gear.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's UPS
Silent Hill?
simulator.
yeah,
Ah.
he's known for making like really um intricate and like detailed games. Like he'll I know he did a lot of like crazy stuff for the Metal Gear games where
Mhm.
you had to do something like a certain amount of times and you get like a certain outcome. Like so, some really like small things that he adds and like people love that shit. But now everyone hates him because Death Stranding and now this. So
I just
Yeah.
saw
Yeah.
from Metal Gear that the Metal Gear franchise was just all about. People will reference it as a movie. Like, yeah, it's a movie, guys. It's a movie. You get a little bit of gameplay, and then you watch the whole entire 1 hour movie, and then you complete the gameplay, and then you watch another 12 hour movie. I'm like, it's true because I watched my cousin one time played it. I think it was Metal Gear 4, and then he was literally like, playing and battling with a boss, and then after that he battled that boss. It was like a whole entire 30 minutes of freaking of like a cutscene. I was like, what the hell? This is kind of dope, but at the same time, is this a movie or a game?
was that Rising Revengeance? Because people don't really count that one.
No, 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 it's not that one. It
It
was
wasn't that
actually
one.
Metal Gear 'cause I saw Snake in it. I saw him literally play a snake.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Real shit, Yakuza's kind of like that too, but it has like different fucking cutscenes for that shit. It's whack. But
I've seen fights for it.
fights for what?
For
Yakuza or
Yakuza, oh yeah, I was watching you play it. I haven't seen. Oh, I've seen one cutscene when I was watching you. It looks good, especially for Michael. What he's been telling me about in the storyline.
Yeah, the
yeah.
Yakuza game for me when I what's it called? The reason I got really interested in it, it was just one time I was what's it called on a Discord call with one of my friend, and she literally said, "Oh, you want me to stream this game? I'm literally streaming Yakuza like a dragon," and I was like, "Yakuza like a dragon? That sounds familiar." And she started streaming it, and I got so into it. Like I'm not that type of person who gets so into like someone else playing a story based game in a sense if I don't know what the game is about. So I'm watching her play and I see the cutscene and the cutscene develops the story little by little and I'm like, yo, this is pretty cool. And I guess on this game it went from action combat to like turn based JRPG and it was not a half bad. I was watching it, felt like, oh shit, this the storyline's pretty good. It feels like I was playing. You feel like you're playing the Final Fantasy VII remake, JRPG one, and I was like, yo, I played the seven seven remake, and I feel like, yo, if the story's really good, I want to play this. This sounds really good. I don't mind about the turn base. It's really really good. I want to see what's happening because she got into like literally like 2 hours into the game, and I was watching her for 2 hours, and then we literally stopped. I stopped watching because I had to go do something else, and I was like, yo, I want to get it, and I told Chris about it, and Chris was like, yo, I'm gonna try it as well.
That
Yeah,
was
I had already had it. I wanted I had been wanting to play it, but like I just never got around to it. But I had like I've had Yakuza 0 in my Steam library for probably over like 2 years now, but I never played it.
I'm the same way with games, dude. I'll
Yeah.
buy a game, I'll play like a little bit of it, and then I just like forget about it, and then I don't play it again.
What what's your thought on Yakuza Zero so far, Chris?
I mean I haven't played that much into it, but what I have played, I really enjoy it. I really like uh the character development, and you kind of see how like their stories and how like the fucked up shit that they kind of have to do to a Yakuza member.
I I know. I remember there's like so many fucked up shit that happened on like a dragon. I'm not sure if I was spoiling myself watching that thing because I'm gonna start pretty soon to do the Yakuza games, but I hope I didn't spoil myself. I really hope I didn't spoil myself because that's really really good.
uh Really, I'm honestly super excited to see how it goes because I know that in Yakuza Like a Dragon, it's a different character,
Yeah.
but I know that like before there's these two characters, the ones that I'm using right now, which are Kiryu and Goro
Yeah.
Majima. Uh, got his uh, and I know that they're in like most of the games, but I have no idea like what happens to them or if they're even still in the last game. So I have fucking hours of playing through that series. It's probably gonna take me like 100 hours to get through all those games. It's like 6 7 games.
I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy 14. And if you guys are from the MMO community, Final Fantasy 14 has been blowing up as of recently for the sole reason that a lot of WoW players are migrating or kind of taking refuge in FF14 just because it's not because WoW is like basically dying right now. It's just WoW as they're it's just they've been declining because their developers or Blizzard has basically not making good content at the moment. So when
Boolin.
a bunch of people started like yeah like they literally I heard this is what I based on heard it took literally months like almost 8 months or more than that or 5 months I don't know how long but it took a long time to get the 9.1 patch out for like literally new content. A patch on Final Fantasy 14 for 9.1 or 5 something like that should be like around three. It's a cycle of 3 or 4 months in a sense to get a new patch out. On WoW,
God damn.
it has taken longer than ever than before, and people are getting very frustrated because they want more content to play because they love that game. And I respect the people who love WoW. Never played it, but I've seen some of it from Asmongold. And talking about Asmongold, my boy has come from not bashing the game, but basically making fun of the game for the past few months and watching reacting to videos, just making as based on his personality as a streamer. He's been like making fun of like cat girls, calling us weebs, calling Final Fantasy 14 weebs and stuff like that. And it was surprisingly and shocking when I found out watching his stream, one of his stream for he was raising money for the kids and stuff like that. He said, okay, if we reach $300,000 for this charity, I will set a date to start Final Fantasy 14. And I was he's gonna play Final Fantasy 14, Final Fantasy 14. I was hyped just because I'm a fanboy for Final Fantasy 14. So the day he started streaming Final Fantasy 14, he it was like July 3rd. He literally like on Twitch, Final Fantasy 14 of I don't know if like before I used to get like around average 2K to like max 6K viewers a day. Just over on every channel that streams Final Fantasy 14 gets like a max of 2K to 6K viewers. On that day, he went and streamed Final Fantasy, and 200,000 plus people went to watch Asmongold play Final Fantasy 14. That was monumental. That was a lot of excitement, and that was for me. I was like, yo, this game is about to like blow up. Like it's gonna like really blow up and burst that bubble of basically we've been enclosed for too long. People been like kind of like looking down on this game for too long just because the like the design for the character design for the game looks kind of like more like what's it called, weeb kind of way in a sense. And a lot of people thought better like from the west side, us in the west side, like more like the cartoonish, like the WoW and stuff like that. And I understand it.
What
And
WoW is World of Warcraft, right?
Yeah,
yeah,
World
what
of
a work
Warcraft.
path.
Yeah, 'cause not a lot of people know. You said WoW, and I was just trying to figure it out. I was
Yeah.
just trying to guess what it meant.
Yeah.
WoW is the World of Warcraft is another MMO was created by Blizzard. And it's from it's Blizzard's basically from the west side, which us North America and stuff like that. They were made from here. There's like and then FF14 is Japanese MMO RPG, massive multiplayer role playing game. And
Yeah.
when he streamed that, when Asmongold streamed 14, he broke records for 14, and also for his personal, like I think it was his personal also max viewers, and just consistently people were watching him, excited to watch him play. And not gonna lie, it was a little bit like he loved it. He kind of enjoyed it. He enjoyed his thing. A lot of people tried to mess his gaming experience by blocking him with the mounts and stuff like that. And and since the Final Fantasy 14 game developer created a way where there's only could be a certain amount of capacity in certain areas, so they don't like basically have overcrowd the servers or the stuff, so the servers don't crash. So every time you go to a city, there's only like a limited amount of people can be in there. I don't know what's the limited amount, but they could fit a bunch of people in there. So when he was trying to get back into the city to complete the quest, there was a bunch of people already just waiting for him. In a sense, there's a bunch of people waiting for him as soon as he gets into the city, and they were crowding him and spamming like their abilities and just basically glowing the whole entire. Because the ability has a lot of like animation effect of glowiness, and it was just covering his whole entire screen and blocking him and stuff like that. And it was hard a little bit for him to what's it called, to start playing. So halfway through the stream, people were telling me, "Oh, just like message a GM, like basically report these people, report basically telling the GM like, hey, they're basically blocking my experience of playing the game. They're blocking my I'm trying to do a quest, but they're blocking me with mounts and stuff like that, and I can barely see the screen." And they didn't do nothing at the first day. Literally 3 days later, someone on Reddit screenshot their ban, so they got suspended for basically blocking with a whale mount. There's a whale mount in the game that's huge as hell, and they got suspended, and they put it up on Reddit, and you just see Asmongold, finally, at least Square Enix does something compared to Blizzard, who stays silent about all this stuff and don't do nothing about it. So that was pretty really cool.
Yeah. So about that, I know I don't want to like shit on your parade or anything, um, but like about like Final Fantasy 14 gaining like more popularity because of Asmongold. I'm not. I wouldn't hold your breath on that because this he did the same thing for old school RuneScape, which is what I play more. Where he like played it and he was like complimenting it. I think he even made a video on it, but
Yeah.
I could be wrong on that. Um, but like he was playing it, he was exploring it, and he was like saying it was like a really good game. And I remember like a lot of people watched him too. A lot of people watched the video, and literally like a week later, like nothing happened. Like he stopped playing. Like everything went back to the same
Yeah.
thing. And I'm not saying that's for sure gonna happen to yours because like RuneScape's already I wouldn't say dying, but like it's kind of declining right now. Um,
Just old, huh?
because it's not even that. It's just because
It's
like
not that.
they're not updating the game. Like
Yeah.
they keep saying they're gonna get raids 3, they never get raids 3. So
It's
like
just gonna
yeah
pump up more content.
yeah
Uh,
yeah.
yeah. Go for it if you still have more
So
stuff to say.
yeah, so like I'm just saying like I wouldn't like like be like this is gonna make Final Fantasy 14 pop off because like it might not, because the same thing happened for RuneScape, and like even because like we even had like Soldier Boy playing it, and then eventually
Oh,
he
for
stopped.
real?
Soldier
Yeah,
Boy.
yeah,
I
Soldier
Yeah.
did
Boy
it
was playing
first.
it
I
That's
did it
for a
funny.
first.
while. There was a lot of there was a lot of funny
Gave him
moments with
so
him.
much money.
Yeah, yeah, they gave him yeah they
I
gave
have a
him I think like
question.
60 mil worth of stuff in
Go
there.
for it.
But
Go
yeah,
for it.
go
I
ahead.
have a question. Wait, no, wait. He got the 60 mil from like from players
Viewers.
or from the viewers?
Bro, he got
Yeah,
multiple gilded sets, dude.
yeah,
Damn.
yeah.
Oh
Which
my
that game
god.
is worth like a lot of money.
Damn.
So
So
yeah.
it my question is, are they gonna do that for Wizard 101? Because
But
that's I
That'd
like
be
I
awesome.
played Wizard 101 a lot like as a kid, bro, and I like from memory now, like I enjoyed the hell out of that game.
It's a top tier game.
I
yeah,
might even go ahead and try to find my old login and try to play it, man, because that was just a lot of fun.
top tier
But
gameplay
is
right
that not
there.
like a big MMO anymore,
Uh,
or
I think
I
there's
don't
probably a community for it. I think there's probably a
probably.
community. There's always a community for it. But to like answer your follow up on what you're saying, Dylan. Basically, I don't think he's gonna stop after a week because he literally promised, or not promised, but he literally said on stream that he's willing to do. He wants to get to max level, but do the ultimate raids, and that takes a lot of time. And so far he's already like 60 hours in, and doing if he really he specified he really wants to do the ultimate raids. And to do the ultimate raids you have to put at least, I would say, 200 to 300 hours into the game to complete the MSQ. Based on the way he's going, because he's entertaining his chat by reading the dialogue and stuff like that, which we were all shocked. Like, I thought he was literally gonna get in the game, skip, do the content, skip all the dialogue. No, he's literally has been taking his time and reading it and making very entertaining of it. And the funniest shit to me is how he literally reads the name of certain areas, like a city. Like, there's a city called Limsa Lamensa. He calls it Lisa La Mansa. Or Lisa La Mansa. And I was like, I'm laughing my ass off over here because it's like he's just having fun with it. And today he was doing like a little like boss fight in a sense, boss instance, and he was like, "Yo, we about to slay this shit right here. Let's go, boy!" And he was watching the cutscenes. I feel like if he not, I feel he's gonna play it longer. Don't know how long he's gonna play it in a sense, because he could say whatever he can say about, okay, I'm gonna get to max level, I'm gonna do ultimate race, I'm gonna do savage rating. He could say all that, but I feel like he's gonna play a little bit longer to just see where he wants to take it in a sense. Because right now he has said it in one of his personal channel, Zach channel. He said, "I'm enjoying Final Fantasy 14, and it's awesome that I'm enjoying Final Fantasy 14, and that my viewers are actually liking what I'm playing." And as a streamer, I kind of like, it feels awesome to just know that.
Yeah, but that's not really my point. Like my point is like I don't think it's gonna make you were saying it might make the game
Oh,
blow up.
I
Like
don't want.
that's my point. Like I don't think it's gonna, because if the game isn't, that all depends on the game. Like people aren't gonna play it just because a streamer, like some people will like play it just because a streamer's playing it, but like that doesn't mean they're gonna like keep playing it. They might try it because they see a streamer play it, but that's not gonna keep people playing it. That's not. I don't think that's gonna end up really changing anything. That's kind of my point.
That's true. Uh, I just like lately, not gonna lie, lately, I'm not sure how long this will last in a sense, but lately I have seen 14 has grown on more content creator, not just WoW content creator, but people who has come in out of nowhere and like has done like content creation or on streaming or on YouTube, and I see more of it, more talks about it, more stuff like that. And I'm just saying, like you said, it could happen. It could last a week, and then next week it'll be the whole entire hype be gone and people are not playing the game as much as it used to be. I'm just excited that the bubble kind of burst open because the developer has been basically slowly building up a whole entire game where literally they build a game where it slowly builds up, but also build a game where it's stable. Like if one day it pops the bubble and it's able to like withstand this many player coming in into the servers. Don't know how long this gonna last. I hope it lasts for a long time in a sense because it's good for the community. It's good for like, developers taking in feedbacks in and saying, okay, we're doing good with our game. Let's keep going, in a sense. And I really, really hope this is my really hope based on what Asmin said. I hope WoW becomes good again. I hope other MMOs that comes out like Ashes of Creation, like New World. I hope they're good, because if they're good, that means they have to keep up with the Final Fantasy 14 and other MMOs have to keep up the competition, because competition is good. Like imagine like how WoW,
RuneScape.
yeah, like if
No
RuneScape
shot.
pops off, I hope like literally I hope RuneScape pops off because there's a bunch of like I'm Drum, he's killing it on RuneScape right now on streaming and on YouTube. If it pops up, this competition, the developers and also like the stock shares and stuff like that, they have to like basically like okay, we gotta make content, we gotta make good content. We can't be slacking off and just like leaving it all the way to the end. Like what is like I feel like that's something that is fundamental. Competition is fundamental in these type of things.
Yeah, for
Nate
sure.
is not.
What do you say, Chris?
Nay, it is not. It's something in RuneScape. There's a whole backstory to it, but
I bet Asmin would say it in some stupid ass
he
way.
probably say it wrong. Yeah, a lot of
Can
people
you,
say it wrong though.
can you explain it though?
But
Can you explain it though?
um,
It's
kind
it's
of.
spelled it's spelled Nate is not, and it's a play on the word, like the phrase "Nay it is not." And
Yeah,
then there's another city that is called Yatizo, which is yeah, it is, or whatever it is.
yeah. It's
Oh.
just so yeah. Yeah, and it's a joke because they're both if they're like warring, uh, not like cities, but like warring like towns. So
Yeah.
it's like they're arguing, you know.
Oh, I
It's
see. I see
funny.
it.
They have a lot of. That's why I love Jackass. 'Cause they have a lot of like little jokes in there that are like really funny to me. They're like dad jokes, but they're really funny to me.
Yeah. What's it called? Um, one day, this is what happened one day. Either with Ashes of Creation or Final Fantasy 14, one day we're gonna play us together. One day, you will see. Mark my words. Mark my word. One day we will play
RuneScape.
MMO together. No, RuneScape. I tried RuneScape. Like, not
You
gonna lie.
barely tried it.
No, no. I played RuneScape, and even if I barely tried it, it's not it's for me. It's not for me in a sense. I felt very like when you guys tell me, "Oh, go to the agility coach and basically just do this over and over and over and over and over again," it just felt like, yeah, you gotta get your agility point like max out in a sense, so you can get this cool gear, so you can do more better stuff in a sense. But it felt like for me, it felt slow. It felt like okay, I played this type of game like literally like 10, 15 years ago. But now I want something better, more advanced. Not I don't care too much about the graphics. I don't care too much about that. But it's just something where I feel like I'm actually like doing something important in a sense. You might say something otherwise, but that's just my opinion. And like RuneScape, fun. Not gonna lie, so you can do fun content with it. But for me, it's not it. Not gonna lie, it's not it for
Yeah,
me.
I don't blame you. I mean, like I'm just saying you didn't really like play it because like Chris actually gave it a good shot. He hated the game and he actually gave it like a good play, and I think he likes it a little bit better now. But like it's definitely not a game for everyone. I'm a little bit of a masochist when it comes to video games. I'm not gonna lie. So I like it, but to be honest, the real fun comes in like the late to like end game bossing, which is like
Yeah.
kind of the only fun part about the game to like I'd say the general public, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Um, but like it's a super grindy game and it plays on like the it plays on like
It's an
the
AFK game
yeah that and then like
until you get to the end.
yeah and it also like plays on like um kind of like an extreme version of what like MMOs play on where like doing all of this hard work to get to a goal and then like when you like finally achieve that goal that like what's it called the like dopamine you get when you like finally achieve that goal after like putting in all this hard work like it that's like the sole like purpose in that game I feel like and it's to like an extreme level
Yeah.
so I
seen that.
yeah. So like I completely understand people not liking it.
Like
So
I play Korean MMOs and they're grindy as hell. Like no, they're grindy as hell. But when I started watching I Am Drum play RuneScape and he was talking about how long has he's been on this grind for this pet, 6 month, 7 month, years. I'm like, bro,
yeah,
that's insane.
and I'm
You
going for
are
all pets. So
and he's
imagine.
going for all pets as well. That's
I am too,
insane.
but
And that dedication, yo, you're insane as well. You're insane as well. Not gonna
yeah,
lie.
yeah,
That dedication of spamming, like I could spam something for like I could literally spend 16 hours a day spamming something over and over again, but like like I would understand if I could get it within a week. Within the week, yeah. Or like if it's like a spam something spammable that you're doing the same thing over and over again, I'll say within the week. But if you have to do multiple stuff in a sense of getting like different pets and stuff like that, or getting a certain thing, a month. I'll say like a month, being more psychopath in a sense. Because on Final Fantasy 14, my goal right now, my priority before I start playing Yakuza and other games and stuff like that, it's I want to get all the end game relic weapon. The relic weapon is like kind of end game highest power level weapon in a sense, and that is grinding based on how much time it takes. Because this relic weapon system right now, it's not hard to get. It's all about just time consuming, and if you can spend time on this content on this area of the map, can you do all this stuff and stuff like that? It's just that I'm going for all of them, and people are telling me, yo, you're crazy about it. You shouldn't be like, there's no point, you're gonna burn yourself out, da da da. But when you're talking about RuneScape, and I watch I am Drum freaking RuneScape stream. He's on it for days and weeks and months and stuff like that. And he's talking about I can't wait to get to the end goal. I can't wait to get to the end goal. And when he gets to the end goal, he's like, yo, I'm gonna open heart clues. I wanna open all this, and he gets his thing or he doesn't get his thing. And I'm just like, is he gonna be happy today or is he gonna be very disappointed today? What is it gonna be today? Oh man, RuneScape is. It's like I'm
crazy game.
saying, there's a fun content in there of hoping if the stream is gonna get it or the YouTube is gonna get that thing he's been grinding for such a long time.
Yeah,
Yeah, most of the time when I played, I was just AFK doing stuff. Like I watched Jujutsu Kaisen while playing RuneScape. Like I would just watch shit and play and have it like on the side. Like there's a lot of things that you can do like that, and there's ways that you can do like that are very active, like very click intensive, and those ways are super cancer. Like I don't understand how people could do it like that. Like there's like this method called 3-tick granite
yeah,
uh mining, and you literally have to click like 3 times within like a second and a half or something like that on different places like on the screen, and you have to do it perfectly, timed perfectly in order every time, and it's just insane how people can do that for like hours at a time.
yeah.
And
Can you do that?
Can I do it? Yeah,
Yeah.
I've done it before.
Damn,
Yeah.
you crazy. You crazy.
It's not that
yeah,
hard. It just takes a lot of concentration. Like doing it for I can't do it for a long time, but I know how to do it. But
yeah.
that's the hard part, doing it for a long time.
See,
So
like if you did that method, like you can't be watching like RuneScape on the side,
yeah,
or watching anime on the side. I mean,
yeah,
but like you literally have to sit there and just keep clicking and clicking and clicking and doing those methods. I don't understand how people could do it for so long. But the AFK methods, while they take a long ass time, like I probably have like 400 500 hours on the game, and I'm only like and I'm only level like what, like 70,
something like that. Yeah,
80, something like that, and most of my skills are like in the 60s 70s, and the max is like 99, right? And most I'm pretty sure all of the 99s are what, 13 million XP,
yeah,
something like that.
yeah,
And for the skills that I have, like all of those at like level 60, level 70, it's like barely 1 million XP.
yeah.
So like I have to do what I already did like 13 times over pretty much. But like,
What
there's
do you
better methods, but it's still like you still have to get the same XP, you know, and it's just it's fucking.
It's cancer. Yeah.
what do
Yeah.
you mean by like AFK? Like it's just
Uh,
because like yeah, how
it
would you
means
play the
away
game
from
and just be
keyboard.
AFK? Yeah, yeah, I know that, but like how would you play the game and just it's mostly AFK?
So
What
I
would be
mean,
the
Because
playing
like
part then?
so like for example, there's this one method that Dylan taught me, which is called Nightmare Zone,
Yeah.
where basically you fight like versions of bosses from quests that you had fought before,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like in an arena and you can't die, so you don't like you don't lose. Well, you can die, but you don't lose anything if you die.
Yeah.
Um, and you just sit there and it keeps spawning the same bosses over and over and over and over. And for like training like your strength, you just literally stand there and have them attack you, and you just attack back. And like if you're strong enough, like if you use weak bosses from like early game, like you could just sit there and kill them over and over and over and over and over for hours and get that XP. And that's pretty much what I did. Like I got to like level 70 attack or whatever the fuck from doing that. Yeah, and that shit, I mean, it's probably one of the fastest AFK methods, but
yeah.
even for being the fastest AFK method, it still takes a long time.
Yeah, compared to other
And
games, yeah.
That
yeah,
that sounds insane. That sounds insane, but that's
but the worst is what I mean. We did it to see if you could do it, I guess. But one of the worst things is agility in the game for most people, and that's what we started you with, because doing even though that skill is one of the probably one of the worst and probably like most people hate it the most.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, actually, like second most or third most because of
It's about
fucking
the
rune
most, yeah.
crafting and shit.
It's close, yeah.
But the advantage of getting that graceful, which is what we wanted you to get, Michael.
Yeah.
It's so insane. Like uh when I did it, I oh my god, I was suffering. I had to do it. It took me like 3 days of just clicking on the freaking map over and over in the same spots over and over, running around in a circle basically
Yep.
for like 3 days, uh, just to get that graceful. But once you get it, it's beyond useful, and that's it. And I'm not even talking about like dopamine, like feeling good that you got it. Like most of the time when you do shit like that, you get something that is so good it makes it worth it. Like and like the tiers of shit that you can get for like each skill makes it so good. Like it's kind of like you have to do it.
Yep.
Like for example, like doing like let's say damage, right? Like attack or whatever, right?
Yeah.
To get from let me just say like bronze to iron, or let's go from iron to steel, right? I don't remember what the levels are, but let's say like 10 to 20. It's not that, I'm pretty sure, but I don't remember. But doing those 10 levels and going from iron to steel in the game would give you like such a big boost to your damage that it makes it worth it. And it keeps going up and up and up for every tier that you go. And that's why like I kept doing it, just because I'm like, okay, if I get to this, then it'll be less cancer. If I get to that, it'll be less cancer. But in reality, it's still kind of the same because you have to get more XP.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
so it kind of like throws you into this fucking loop of fucking just can't. It's fucking something else. The game.
Yeah.
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 Can't imagine.
It takes a certain type of person to like that game. Yeah.
Like I would understand if you like start when like around to when it came out, or like literally 2 or 3 years later after it came out and stuff like that. But now in this day and age, it's really, for me, I would understand it's really rare for new players to come in and actually like just like put hours and thousands of hours into it. It's probably me. I'm pretty rare because like I like grinding games and stuff like that. But like based on like how grindy the game is, like really really extreme. Like this is not like, oh, it's grindy, dude. No, this is extreme grinding.
Yeah.
I'm like it kind of scares me off in a sense.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think for most people, like, what draws them in is like the nostalgia because like they played it when it was like first out, which is
Yeah.
what actually got me into it because I did play. I actually played in '07,
That
which is
is
kind of funny.
also.
Yeah, so like that like brought me in, but then like what kept me was like another thing like we didn't even talk about. Like I don't know if Chris agrees with me, but like the quests are actually really good in this game, and I'd say better than most MMOs. Um, because like the actual story and like lore, you can ask Alex about it. Like he knows all about the lore of the game, but like the lore and the story is actually like really fucking good. That's one thing that kept me in. Another thing was um, just like uh, all of the like figuring out like best methods on how to do something is something I like doing. So it just has like a different appeal for everyone.
Yeah.
Um, and like I'd say the general public is not going to like RuneScape, even with like all the updates they do. Like it doesn't matter, but I don't know. I'm always gonna love it. I'm always gonna eventually go back to it. Even though I'm
Yeah.
on like a break right now, I'm gonna go back to it eventually. But yeah, I completely understand like both of you guys not really liking it. Like it's not for everyone.
Yeah. I like I don't mind the game. And it's like it's pretty
I
cool.
mean, I don't dislike it. I
Yeah.
just don't love
Yeah, I
it.
don't I don't hate the game, nothing like that. It's just it has scared me away just because of like people telling me it gets good at end game. But when I ask like when is end game, they're like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 hours, depending what you do, the method you use, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I just want this as my secondary MMO. Not my. I already have F14 as my main. I want something to kind of like just get myself distracted sometimes when I already like put so many damn thousands of hours into 14. I want something different in a sense of like, okay, let me try this and see how it is. But people are scaring me like, oh, to get to the good part, it's like 1,000 hours, 2,000 hours, and I'm like, I can't. I can't because it's just like that's me basically. Okay, if I want to play RuneScape for like full time or I want to get to the end game, okay, 14. I'll not see you in like 2 or 3 years. But I don't want to do that to 14
Well,
because yeah, go for it, go for it.
oh well, I mean, I was gonna say like there's ways that you could do that, like where you're actually like one of the things that like Chris was talking about. You can actually do that while you're playing 14. Like
Yeah,
the
That's what I was
nightmare
about to
thing.
say.
Yeah, you can put that on in the background if because like I know your friends play RuneScape too. So like you can just put like Nightmare Zone in the background and then just play Final Fantasy 14 and like literally all you have to do is like check on it every like 20 minutes I think. So
yeah,
and then that will like level you up to the point where you can do like the end game content that they probably want to do like Nightmare and TOB and Chambers of Zarek and like all that
Your head
good
ass.
shit. Yeah, yeah. And they'll probably like knowing them, they'll probably give you like the fucking armor you need and shit. So
yeah.
it's
Literally,
like gonna be funny.
you know, Jess, the one who made our design and stuff like that. She literally,
Yeah.
she went on her account on RuneScape and gave me so much gold. I think she
Yeah.
gave me like 3 mil or something like that. She's like,
Yeah.
here you go, gold, and I'm like, what the fuck? Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
So that means whenever I return to RuneScape, I'll have gold to like basically just like buy everything I need whenever. And I want to follow up question since you're talking about RuneScape lore and RuneScape story.
Mhm.
When you play like an MMO, do you what do you go more for like the combat or do you go more for the story or do you go for more of like the community or what is like that drives you into MMOs?
Um that's funny. In my coding class, they had a like a study where someone asked like everyone like what they play the game for, and there was like I think it was like four different like categories. One of them was like the community person, the other one was like the PKer, the other one was like the I think it was the collector or something like that.
Hmm.
And then I don't remember what the fourth one was, but that's that's what that reminded me of. But you almost like listened to them perfectly. Uh, anyways, I play it for a few different reasons. The story a little bit. I love like a good story. Um, like I'll look up lore on like different like things if it like really interests me. I'll like look up YouTube videos on like lore and shit. Um, so like a little bit of that, and then a little bit of like the collector um, type shit, because like I love like I said, I'm going for every single pet in the game, and I do that with a lot of things. Like I try to finish what are called like collection logs, which
Yeah.
are you get what
Missions?
that is, right? Like a boss, like get all the drops from the boss.
Kind
Um,
of. I can understand the
yeah,
concept.
yeah. So like I try to do that type of shit, um, which funnily enough burns me out.
Yeah.
But I still love doing it. So um, but yeah, I'd say it's like a mix between like those two things. I hate fucking PKing. I think PKing's kind of stupid. But and
Yep.
like community is not like anything I cared for. I don't really like talking to other people in games, honestly. So
Can I just say how the collectors? There are some people in RuneScape who are so who have done like everything, have so many hours, have so much gold that they literally go around buying people's burnt food. That's literally worthless.
yeah,
It's literally worthless. It's a worthless item that most people just drop and it disappears from the game. But these people literally go around asking people for it and buying it.
like
Why?
you can't even sell it to like any of the like merchants in the game, like any of the stores. You can't even sell it. They won't let you.
It's
Like
just so
Yeah.
they can have like more like hoard that shit in their inventory.
there's
Yeah. Like literally
Burnt?
like
Oh,
one of the most rare stuff are like the low level stuff because people like just throw it away so fast.
yeah.
Like let's say you start the game and you go and you kill cows, right? And then you cook the cows and then you burn a couple of them, but then you start getting higher levels and then you'll stop burning them.
Yeah.
So like so you at some point like pretty fast like you'll stop burning them altogether. So like there's not that much of inventory of those burnt items,
Oh,
like burnt beef.
yeah. It becomes
So like
more rare in a sense because
yeah,
people
so like the
see.
low level stuff is more rare than the high level stuff.
That's insane to hear. That's crazy to hear. That's really like now I kind of understand why they do that shit, but like that's crazy that they
it's a
actually go and do
flex.
that shit. Yeah. So one of the biggest reasons I got into MMOs, and it was just because I felt like for me it was like the grinding aspect, not compared to like what's it called RuneScape. It was kind of the grinding aspect of it because one time one of my cousins was into this MMO. I don't know what MMO was beforehand, was into Mabinagi, and it was a Korean MMO, Korean MMO made by Nexon, and it was a really grindy game, and I was enjoying it. I played for 4 or 5 years, consistently. Just like there's after the third year, I was off and on because it was the same thing over and over again. It was really grindy, and I like the aspect of like doing different things, grinding for a certain achievement, grinding for certain titles, getting mounts, getting doing all this cool stuff while there's other people online with you, and just they're there with you, just try and play with you. And I was like, yo, this is freaking dope. I like this PVE I'm a more of PVE content.
Same.
I didn't appreciate too much of the story of Mabinagi because I never read it. I tried to read it, but I didn't get it. I just skip it. I just click like most MMO player does. They don't think there's a good story behind an MMO. So they just click. I want to get to the PvP or PvE content, end game content. And funniest shit ever, most MMO end game content consists of glamour. Glamour, anything that has to do with freaking what's it called, costumes, like how you look,
Oh,
design and stuff like
fashion
that,
escape.
fashion stuff. Like that's almost every MMO that I have been basically what's it called, hearing about.
Yeah.
But talking about like story wise games of MMOs, like I got into MMOs because of PvE content, the community, people things that you could do with people and grind out for such a long time. But when I got into Final Fantasy 14, I never knew there was gonna be like a good story. My friend told me, like, I asked my friend, should I skip the story? Should I just like click? He told me just give it a try. Give the story a try. The story for me for Final Fantasy 14 felt like it was like a slow build up. It took me a while to get into it because it's like I'm not used to reading story. I'm not reading dialogue, but they give you small bites per dialogue, little by little, and it feels like you're not doing like if you skip the cutscene, you feel like you're doing a fetch quest. But if you don't skip the cutscene or you don't skip the dialogue, you feel like you understand why you're going to this place to these other places, and it slowly builds up. And the first part of the game, the base game, is called A Realm Reborn, and it feels such like a slow build up. It's developing the world, telling you about the character. And you know how sometimes in an anime or in any TV show, it takes a while to develop a certain like what's it called atmosphere, certain character and stuff like that. So you feel like okay, it's like in anime, it's like episode 1 and episode 2 is kind of like it's kind of lit, but at the same time it's kind of boring because you have to build up a little bit. But after a while, each expansion, like Heaven Wars expansion, was really, really fantastic. Like it was written really fantastic. The PV content was really, really good. I like the dungeons. I like because the AR dungeons it felt like it was just like okay, take as many dungeons as possible. Can just put all the dungeons you can. Just put all of them there. Oh yes. Like dungeons, yes. That's how it felt for me. But when it came to Heaven's Wars dungeon, it felt like they took more time with it. They took to put more certain ads, they put certain bosses, and kind of added more into the lore. Like they did it with AR, but Heaven's Wars felt so nice because of the story based on like Dragon's War and stuff like that. It felt really nice. And Stormblood was really good because basically like you go to a different area of the map of the different country. Then Shadowbringers was Shadowbringer broke me. Shadowbringer really broke me, and I just want to say overall, I know I was very like I went to different side tangents and stuff like that, but I just want to say I never knew an MMO could drag me in because of the story. It could keep me in playing the game because one of the reasons is because of the story, and I could say now I like the thing that keeps me on MMOs now is story based game, story based, a PVE, community wise, and just basically just grinding as much as I can. Like if there's the content to grind and that it's worth it, like as long as it's worth it, like as the end goal is worth it, like you get a cool mount or you get a cool gear, I will grind for that shit. I'll literally find a way to grind it with other people and I'll grind it. And that's one of the biggest reasons I've been like Renaissance. I've been in love again with MMOs. And I just want to say that because it's just something that I'm very passionate about.
So even switching like to games and stuff, like I know you talked about like the new you want to get a new Switch, but you found out like about like the new Switch and it was just like pointless. Like
Bro.
tell me a little bit about it, cause
Okay. So
yeah.
So before the pandemic started, I want to get a Switch. Like my friend was telling me beforehand, like, yo, the Switch is really good. So before the pandemic, I was gonna like literally like right before the pandemic, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get a Switch. I was looking on Amazon, looking everywhere, but like the Switch were out of stock. So then I just forgot all about it. And then one day, me and Chris were talking, like, bro, I want to switch. I think it was like last year or a few months ago. I'm like, bro, I want to switch and stuff like that. He goes like, yeah, me too. But he goes like, you know, dude, I think they're gonna announce. Chris was like, you know, dude, they might announce the Switch Pro this year. Like, you should wait for that. I was like, yo, if they're gonna have a Switch Pro, I'm gonna wait for that. I'm gonna get it and stuff like that. And then literally like this, I think it was this week, they announced Switch OLED. The only thing they added to this thing, a 7-inch screen, like a 7 inches more bigger. That's it. 7 inches
OLED.
bigger
And
in
OLED,
an OLED.
Hey, that's nice for some people, okay?
But it's $50
Some people
more.
can't take 7 inches.
Yeah, but it's $50 more. It's crazy. I thought it was gonna, and it's the same resolution. It's like 720p. And it's like I would understand if it was like at least $20 more, but $50 more for almost the same thing. And I don't. I'm not that salty about it. I'm just more salty that I wanted the Pro. I really wanted that Pro. People kept telling me that the
Likewise.
Pro it's gonna be really good for Nintendo Switch. Is like you're gonna be able to run games smoother. The processing for the things are gonna be better. The controller will feel nice. I felt like I was sold from different things online. Faults, advertisement in a sense. Even though you should not trust too much shit or rumors and stuff like that, but I was like so hyped about it because there's so many games I want to try, like the Zelda game, the Breath of the Wild Wing, Breath of the Wild,
Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild. I'm so sorry if I butchered that, guys. I know you guys are big fans. All the viewers are a big fan of Breath of the Wild. I want to try that because so many people were telling. They were telling me how good it is, how fantastic the game is, and I was like, yo, I want to get it for this game and so many other games that they've been importing into the Switch. They have been importing really really good games into the Switch.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see that as like a reason to like not get a Switch. I just see that as more of a reason to just get a regular Switch, honestly.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna keep putting like really good games on there, and you're just gonna get an even bigger and bigger and bigger library of just like insane games that you can get on there. So I would just get a regular one, honestly. There's still a ton of good games on there. Like, yeah, that's
I
what I
mean,
would do.
I would say against that. I would say get the new one because I mean it is $50, right? Like,
Yeah.
but at the same time you get a slightly bigger screen and you get an OLED screen, which I mean are the Switch already like when I saw the Switch, when I saw the colors on it, when I saw the way the game, it wasn't the graphics, but it was just like the display of the Switch. I was like, wow, like it doesn't look as bad as I thought it would. And hearing that, like, I'm still disappointed because it's not a Switch Pro, but being an OLED screen, I would say like I'd say it's worth at $50.
Well, I mean,
If you don't have a Switch, if you have a Switch, then of course not. Like, be a waste of money to get that. I feel like, but if you don't, like $50, it really just depends on you, I guess. But
so
like OLEDs, I think are look way better than an LCD screen.
okay, so let me revise my statement then, because I guess that kind of depends on like if you're gonna use the handheld Switch, because I literally never use the handheld Switch. I think I used it like a few times when I first got it, but like the controllers on the
Yes.
handheld are like absolutely like they're dog shit. So I literally just got a pro controller and then I put it into my computer and then I just like switch my monitor to the right input. So I literally never use the handheld. So like if it was someone like me, I would see no actual point in getting the OLED. But if you do plan on like using handheld, I could see why that would be worth it.
So I mean, for me, I feel like I would get most use of the Switch just either when I go out like uh to some place, like for example, like when I went to jury duty, like I would probably be playing the Switch there, or just in bed playing whatever the heck at night, rather than playing in the living room or on my computer, because it unless I really really wanted to play the game, that like say I was playing Breath of the Wild and I really really wanted to play it, then I would play like in dock mode or whatever. But other than that, like I would just be on my PC, playing whatever the fuck. But if I was in bed or if I was out, then I would definitely be using it handheld.
Yeah.
Quick question, and I think it's a little bit off topic, but do you guys remember the PSP?
Oh my
Mhm.
Oh
god.
Do
yeah.
they still make that? Do they still make that?
I don't think
No.
so.
No.
No.
Do you think just Nintendo just took over? The Switch just took over,
Uh,
or exactly?
well, I guess yes, but not because it's because PlayStation just I guess they didn't have the numbers for the PlayStation Vita. Because
Hmm.
The PlayStation Vita was the last like PSP console
Yeah.
that they released. And the console, from what I saw, and I used it a little bit. I never owned one, but I used it.
Yeah.
A friend's one. From what I saw, it was pretty good, like
Hmm.
hardware wise and gameplay wise and everything. But the thing was like the games they just weren't there for the PS Vita. Like there's like one Uncharted game, but I heard it was like not that good. And my friend who I used his PS Vita, like what we would play on it was just fucking the old ass retro freaking Battlefront 2 from 2000 whatever the fuck. Uh and we just played it on that because they ported it and it was like the same game but it was on PSP, and you could take it
Yeah.
wherever.
I played the only game, and it was my stepbrother's. The only game I played on it was God of War.
Same.
I didn't try any other game other than God of War on it.
Same.
Yeah, I feel like the PSP, based on how it looked and what you could do, like play music and play kind of videos and stuff like that, it was ahead of its time. Not gonna lie, it was ahead
Yeah.
of its time. And when I think it was like a few weeks ago, I went back because I was at my stepbrother's house and we were going to like nostalgia moments. And we're like, "Yo, remember the PSP?" And then I looked up why was it discontinued, and it's because it was getting kind of like old in a sense, and a lot of game developers, didn't want to continue to like kind of make games for just for that because it was getting way too things were getting too advanced, and they didn't want to like retroactive go back and do the game all over again because it will cost more resources to do it, to import
Mm.
games into that. And then, like you were saying about the PSP Vita, there was not enough sales for them in a sense. I heard that there was not enough sales, and that's why they just discontinue it. And I feel like I like the one of the biggest reason like Chris wants a Nintendo Switch is because of the portable thing. I want to be able to like when I go out, I want to have the portable one. I want to be able like when the other day I found out I found my Nintendo 3DS and I was literally just playing my Nintendo 3DS on bed and it felt pretty nice. Like even though like I don't have a TV in my room and stuff like that. All I have is just my phone. I'll be watching either anime or TikTok. Literally scroll through TikTok on the night and I'll be laying there. But when I'd be playing, I'd be playing my Nintendo 3DS and playing like Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem's really really fire, or Pokemon and stuff like that. But I feel like okay, I need to start upgrading pretty soon. I want to get the Nintendo Switch just so I can play portable and either in my bed when I'm about to go to sleep, or when I go out. Cause sometimes I'll be going out and it'll be taking forever and ever to like come back home, and also and if I had to play on my PC, I will. I have no issue with it, but it's just like the aspect of having a portable what's it called? A portable device or console to play that is actually good. It's not half baked. It's not like it's whatever, dude. It's like it will work and sometimes it doesn't work. It's like that meme. It's maybe good, maybe shit sometimes, something like that. That shit is like the portable feels nice. I seen Andy's friend Izzy have one, and he brought it one time. One time, he was playing the Apex game, Apex Legends, when it released, and it didn't look that half bad. It didn't look that half bad. So I was like, "Yo, this is something I want to invest in one day."
So one thing I would suggest, if you are gonna get a Switch and you're gonna use it for the portability, I would think about getting a Pro controller because like the actual controls on the Switch are terrible. For me, I barely even use them, and they started drifting after like I think a month or two. So I would, and that's partially why I would suggest getting like the original Switch instead of the OLED, because then you could just use that money you saved to get a Pro controller.
Yeah.
So I think you'd be like 10 down from where, or 10 up, I guess, from where you would be if you got the OLED one without the controller. So, because I think there's $60. They might have changed now. I know they were when the Switch first came out. They might be lower now. I'm not sure. Or you get a third party one. Those are like hella cheap. They're like $20. Um, but but yeah, like I would honestly suggest doing like at least getting a controller because the controls on the actual like Switch are just not that great. And then you can also like set up the Switch. It has like a stand on it that you can like actually
Oh.
like set up. So like if you're on a plane, I remember I did this on a plane. Um, I put down like the little table that you get.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and then I put
It's like
down
the
the
commercial.
Switch. Yeah, exactly. I put down the Switch and then I just used my like Pro controller and then I just played it like that. And it
Oh,
was
that's pretty
perfect.
cool.
So I would suggest doing that if you're gonna do that. But it's not
Yeah,
financial
I mean,
advice.
That sounds dope.
Yeah.
bigger screen though. Bigger
The
screen.
biggest. I would think about it. It's not something
Bigger screen.
I'm gonna go out of my way right now and get it. It's something later on, probably
Yeah,
close to like the holidays and
Black
stuff like that.
Friday.
Or Black Friday, yeah, like kind of something to treat myself. It's not like I'm not gonna out of my way to be like, okay, I want to get the normal Switch because it's like the best thing ever. Get the controller just right now. I I want to get it basically either Black Friday or close to the holidays, just so I kind of treat myself in a sense.
What's the release date for the OLED? Is it
I have no
like
idea.
I
yeah.
think it's October. Let me just double check. Really?
But even if they do release it, like by Black Friday, they'll probably have like some deal where you could get like the Switch OLED and like Breath of the Wild for like the same
Yeah.
350 price. So
Yeah.
like
Well,
it's probably gonna be worth like
yeah. Or they'll have like a deal with like a Pro controller or some shit.
yeah.
Even better. Although I will say about the Pro controllers, the third party ones for the most part are not Bluetooth. So they're gonna be even more annoying to like if you're gonna play on portable mode. Um, so you'd probably have to actually get a actual Nintendo Pro controller.
Yeah.
I think
I,
the new one has a fucking Ethernet port, bro.
oh yeah,
Oh,
it
it
has like
does?
yeah, it has
Oh,
Yeah,
wait,
No, yeah.
Ethernet port. What the
But I go out with your router and shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
bro. Like,
fuck? Wait, what the fuck? I had to think about that for a second. Wait. What the fuck?
bro, no
You know
lagging in
why?
Smash, bro. No
You know
lagging in
what? Yeah,
Smash.
That's exactly why. Cause I actually had to wait. I actually have it right here. I had to get one of these for
Yeah.
Smash, cause the internet is like the net code on there is like actually fucking terrible. So now you don't have to get one of these babies. So
Hey, let's go.
so that's good for people that play Smash.
The release date for it's around October, so that
Yeah,
means
it's
it
not
can
an
go on
exact
Black
date.
Friday. Yeah, it's not. That's not exactly.
Yeah.
I don't see it on the article. I don't see the exact date. It was 3 days ago that they put the article. It says it will launch this October, nearly a year after the PS5 and Xbox Series X went on sale. So that means it could hit on it could go on Black Friday sale. It could go on Black Friday sale. We'll see, but not hoping for high hopes. I hope it goes for Black Friday sales.
Yep.
But if anything, I'll get it
I
for
think
like
it will.
for
It
holiday.
Or like
probably
a
will.
game. It probably won't be like less price, but you probably get like a game something with it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
That's
like
what they did with
bundle.
the original Switch too.
They had a bundle with the game.
They
Boy,
had
I'm
Smash.
getting it. Yeah.
They had Smash when it first came out, bundled with it, and a controller too.
Are games like you know how you said for PSP they had to make the same games all over again for the PSP? Does Nintendo have like because I know it has Apex, so like that game's already made. It how easy it is it to get games or to make games for it?
So I'm guessing they'll because I'm pretty sure it's gonna be like the exact same like software and everything. I'm
Yeah.
guessing it's gonna be like very seamless. I don't think they're gonna
Mm.
have any problems. Like, I don't think they'll need to like recreate games or anything for it. Especially
Yeah.
because they're putting a fucking OLED screen on that bitch and calling it a day. So so like, because they did the same thing with the light, right? Like
Mhm.
it's pretty much the exact same thing except it's like a tiny bit smaller. So, which is another option you have, by the way, because I think the controls on there are a little bit better. But but yeah, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be super seamless.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then like for games, wait. So is it? Oh, I don't know how to explain this. So is it? You know how Sony has its own game and then the Xbox has its own game.
Hmm.
It is
Exclusive.
it is like the Nintendo connected to one of those or what?
No, they have their own
What do you mean?
thing. They have their own exclusives.
Yeah,
So like
like Mario.
yeah,
Bro.
exclusive.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
Like
makes
Mario,
sense.
like
yeah.
Zelda, like
That's
Pokemon.
yeah.
Um,
Go ahead.
I know some games are meant for like certain consoles. Like Spider-Man, for example, is only for like PlayStation.
Yeah,
At the moment, yes.
yeah,
Exclusive.
Exclusive.
yeah. Nintendo
Exclusive.
does have exclusives. They have a lot of like all of the Mario shit. That's exclusive for them. They
Yeah.
have like Smash. That's exclusive.
Yeah.
Hmm.
They have a lot of shit.
Zelda.
I think Metroid too. I
I
think
was gonna say
I
that.
think Metroid is exclusive for them too.
I was gonna
And
say
Zelda,
Fire
yeah,
Emblem,
and Fire Emblem, yeah.
Pokemon.
Yeah, exactly. They have
I,
a bunch of exclusives.
Yeah.
if there's
Because
something, yeah, go for Andy.
no, you go.
Right, if there's something, because I was looking up like, yo, I forgot this Metroid, and I was like, yo, because Metroid, I remember playing on the Game Boy. Remember on the Game Boy when you playing Metroid? Imagine now on a Switch. That is gonna be
It's gonna be
epic.
crazy.
Yeah.
I was going into games because like you know how I said like God of War, like you know how it's only like for PlayStation and stuff like that. Apparently it's now out for PC. So I don't know if that's like something new
Wait.
or like
Yeah.
they got like acceptance or for it or yeah, you're trying
So
to go into it. Yeah.
so Sony's Sony you know how Xbox has their Game Pass, right? The Xbox
Yeah.
Game Pass.
Yeah.
And they have a whole bunch of games on it. All their games like Forza, Gears, all that stuff. Like they're exclusives. Sony is firing back and they're making their own. Well, they made their own, and it's called PlayStation Now. And I looked at the game list for it, and it actually has some things that I was actually kind of surprised by. They have the entire God of War series, including the newest one, on there. They have The Last of Us on there,
Ooh.
so you could play The Last of Us on PC now. Uh,
Bro.
not The Last of
What?
Us 2, but you could play the original
Who cares
Last of
about
Us.
that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not that big of a deal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you could play The Last of Us. From what I saw, I don't know because the website was kind of wonky. I won't lie, but from what I could tell, I'm pretty sure you could play The Last of Us on PC now. Uh, and one that I personally was very interested in that I saw, which I never got the chance to play because I never had a PlayStation. After PlayStation 2, I only had Xbox. Was the Infamous series. They have all the Infamous
Oh,
games on
yeah.
there. Yeah.
That shit was.
And they have a whole bunch of things on there. Even the Yakuza games, some of them. They have
Oh yeah.
so many games on there as well, but
Ghost of Tsushima.
what really huh?
Ghost of Tsushima, something like that. The
Doubt.
samurai game.
Doubt.
I
No, they.
I forgot to look for that one.
Yeah.
But
I doubt
I was reading through it and I was kind of skimming through and I didn't notice it, so I'm not sure if it's on it, but I don't think it is
Yeah.
because not Spider-Man wasn't on there
Yeah.
either.
Yeah.
And I specifically look for Spider-Man, but maybe in the future they'll add Spider-Man, they'll add Ghost of Tsushima on there.
Was Uncharted on there?
Ooh,
I was gonna
Uh,
ask about
'Cause
Uncharted.
that one's
but-
old. That one's old enough for.
Yeah.
Actually, I
for it to
could
be on
check
there,
right
I
now.
would think.
Honestly.
Yeah, you can.
So
How
So-
old is Uncharted? Because I remember, isn't there like four Uncharted's out?
Yeah, there's 4 Uncharted's. The last one.
Yeah.
The last one's pretty old. I think it came out in 2016. It might be even earlier than that. Let me check actually. I'm gonna
Yeah.
check
It's
it while
a good
Jess
game,
checks that.
man. I loved
They
it.
have-
loved those games too.
Yeah, I think the
They
last
have,
one I played was the third one. The third one when it came out.
Oh
That's the
my!
last-
I was right.
What?
It's
Say-
2016. It's 2016.
Yeah.
I was fucking right.
Yeah.
What a guy.
So is this gonna be like PlayStation Now? Is it gonna be like kind of like you were saying, like you gotta pay it on PC and you can play PC games on it, like the PC game on it? Or is
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
I thought it was more of like, okay, they're gonna have it like on the
Okay,
subscription.
So they have the first 3 Uncharted games.
No,
Well, not the
I don't care about the first 3. I want the last one. I want the last one. Damn.
Damn.
it.
Like
Yeah, let me look for Ghosts. See if
get you all excited for nothing, huh?
They
Yeah.
get excited. So do you have to
Like you thought they were
download?
gonna do something good, but
Do you download a launcher or is it on a website?
Probably
I
launcher.
have no idea.
I,
It's just it's kind of I feel like it's too new.
Mm.
They're kind of bullying. And it kind of just says like sign up, and I
Oh
don't know how to go on beyond that.
yeah.
yeah.
I would
So it's probably
assume
gonna release later on. Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
I would assume there's a launcher like how Xbox has, kind of.
Yeah.
Well, wait, do they have a launch? I think they have like a store that you like download the games from, but you don't actually launch them from there. You actually download them to your computer, and then
Yeah.
do that. I
Yeah,
would
'cause
assume that's how they're gonna do it.
you have the
Mm.
Xbox game app that
Yeah.
I think you can download or comes with Windows and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then it will down like you say, it'll download the game, but it'll be kind of like if you're downloading a game from Steam, it'll be on a file, and you can either drag it on a folder, you can leave it on your desktop, and it'll just be
Yeah.
like the logo of the game.
Yeah.
So like when
goes
you
to
click
your
on the
computer, yeah.
game, yeah. So when you click the game, it'll launch the game. It doesn't go like you know how on Steam when you open the game, it's like and you don't have Steam open, it'll open Steam first, like if you're logging into Steam, and then open the game in a sense. But
Yeah.
on this one, if you click on the game, it'll just pop up.
Oh,
like
are you
your-
saying for sure they're gonna have a launcher?
No, I'm not.
You ask.
I'm not sure. I'm asking if
Oh,
they're gonna
okay.
have a launcher because that'd
I
be
mean,
pretty dope. To
From
have
what I
one.
see, they have like a picture of something here that looks like a launcher. So I guess I mean this website is like super kind of bold. I feel like they did it like just like last second. That
The Boolin. So it's probably. I think this is based on my observation. I think they're just working on either getting people signed up to either try the beta of the launcher, or they're getting people signed up just to like later on when they launch either a website or a launcher or a store, people can download it. That's why my observation. That would be the kind of like the smartest shit they could do. But if they're gonna just bull and be like, oh, just go to our website and download the games, I'll be like, what? That sounds dumb. Like, I'd rather have a launcher and then see all the games that you have and browse the game and have my own library, or either just download it straight to my my PC desktop instead of like just having going to launch every single time.
Mm.
Yeah, I'd probably wait a while before. Like, I'd probably wait till
They have
like
Red Dead on
after. Oh, they do.
yeah,
Ooh. But yeah,
Right?
I'd probably.
both Red Dead, both of them.
So they have Red Dead 2, but they can't get Uncharted 4? Really?
Yeah,
Red
I
Dead
don't
2
know,
came
they're
out
fucking-
way later. And it was probably way more popular, too. Like, I don't. Okay.
Yeah, but that's not exclusive.
Yeah.
Uncharted isn't? Oh, Uncharted is.
Uncharted
exclusive,
is
yeah.
very
Mhm.
exclusive to what's it called, to PlayStation.
Still, that
like-
pisses me off.
What about Assassin's Creed? Is that exclusive to PlayStation or like a console or?
I don't
don't think so.
think so. I
No,
think it's on
it's not.
Xbox too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. 'Cause
It's on all.
I only remember
Yeah.
playing on PlayStation. But...
No, I'm pretty sure I played like the first few on Xbox, and then I played it on. Or no, I think I played all of them on Xbox actually.
Is there gonna be a new Assassin's Creed this year, or are they gonna take a year off or something like that? Because I know
I don't
the
even know. I stopped following
I
them.
know.
'Cause
I know on E3 they said they're gonna add DLC to Valhalla. They said they're gonna add DLC to Valhalla instead of making a new game, but I'm not sure if that's actually true or not.
I mean,
What do you
talking
guys
about
laughing
Assassin's
about?
Creed.
Yeah.
Huh?
There's a report of, or they announced Assassin's Creed Infinity.
What is that
So
Mm.
Yeah.
hold your horses there, bud, because it's not about what it's gonna be, okay? Because it's
Okay.
gonna be a lot of things, right?
Oh,
Hence
shit.
the name, Infinity.
one?
Yeah.
no.
Everything.
So- So what they're doing with Assassin's Creed is they're making it a games as of service, or whatever the fuck it's called, games of service, whatever it is. So basically, what they're doing is, like, let's say they make a Assassin's Creed freaking Japan, right? Assassin's Creed Samurai, which is what most people been wanting, right?
Yeah.
They release it, and it's like, I don't know, 4 hours long, right? they'll release this version of the game. They're like, okay, this is a part of Assassin's Creed Infinity. It's Assassin's Creed Japan or whatever, and then they'll use that engine for that game, for that specific part, and then like, maybe another studio is working on Assassin's Creed, freaking Canada, I don't fucking know, or Russia or whatever the fuck, and then they release that, and that one's 5 hours long, and then so both of those are both in Assassin's Creed Infinity, and then
Wait.
if they
Oh.
want, they can release like Assassin's Creed Japan Part 2 and expand on the game after they release like the first part. So basically, like it's like it's what it is. It's a service, you know. Like they're releasing content over time and not something like upfront.
I hope it doesn't become like a EA thing where it's just
Yeah,
you gotta
no.
pay for more, you get paid
No,
more and more
I don't
and
like that.
more and more. All right, guys. Part 3 of Japan comes out. All right, it's gonna be like a $30 for the expansion, or is it gonna be like $40 for expansion? Like if they do, if they actually fully go that route, for me, I'm just thinking about how are we gonna pay for the game? How are we gonna access the game? Like, because I'm just thinking about, okay, this is just gonna be like I guess it's a cool idea that they keep adding on into it. It's like Assassin's Creed Infinity, and they add into it, but like I'm just thinking as a either as an MMO route where they add expansion or they add like DLC into the game, but like how how are they gonna monetize it? That's my freaking like thought. Like I'm just thinking about that. Like it sounds cool. The idea
True.
sounds cool. So the idea sounds really cool and popular. That should be dope. But the monetization route, I'm like, I don't know about that one. My brain doesn't know what to say. My brain doesn't know what to say about it.
Yeah, like I honestly I've been kind of done with Assassin's Creed since like Origins, and I was just kind of
Okay.
like seeing what they would put out next to see if I would like it, and like so far they haven't. But like now I'm like if I wasn't done after Origins, I'm definitely done after hearing that. Like what in the actual fuck are they thinking? Like
You think it's money? They do it for money though?
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like. It's just
Yeah.
straight up
Yeah.
just to get money.
like I don't like I honestly can't even fucking comprehend like thinking about what Assassin's Creed used to be into turning into a fucking MMO. Like at that point you just need to like just call it fucking quits and just like stop. Like that's when you know you just got to let it die. Just let it fucking die. Like it had a good run. Not really.
Yeah.
After like Assassin's Creed 3 like it kind of just died, but whatever. Like you tried. Like I think they took like the like I know there's like some kind of saying like changing with the times and whatnot, like adapting and like all that shit, but like they took it a little too far, honestly. Like I'm
Yeah.
I'm so done with Assassin's Creed, bro.
Honestly, I feel like more people really enjoyed the old games way more than they do the new ones, and
Yeah.
the people who enjoy the new ones are like are new fans that haven't played the old ones,
Yeah.
that didn't come from playing the old ones. Like back in the day, like back in Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood,
Yeah.
Revelations,
Mhm.
like when I played those games, I almost exclusively fought barehanded.
Mhm.
Because it was either stealth with the hidden blades or barehanded for me.
Yeah.
I did not use my swords. I did not use any daggers. I would literally bare hand fucking counter people and take their shit and fucking kill them with their own
Yeah.
shit. And that
Yeah.
was the most badass shit.
Yeah, it was so satisfying when you could counter people with your bare hand, and it was just like the way you counter in that game, especially on 2. It feels so good. It feels so good. And then when you get to Assassin's Creed 3 and they change that whole entire system, you're like, why? Just why?
Have
it was
you
still-
guys?
I mean, in Assassin's Creed 3, though, they
It's
added
good.
the tomahawk, and the tomahawk
Yeah.
was pretty
Oh,
badass.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It was
Like,
that
so
was
good.
badass.
That was good. Like
Have
Have
I
you guys
didn't
played
mind.
multiplayer on it?
Oh yeah,
I did. I enjoyed the old multiplayers because it was kind of like a goose chase. Did y'all like Assassin's Creed 4? Black Flag?
Which one was that? A Black Flag?
Oh.
Was it? I played it.
It was
It,
okay.
Because I feel
when you
like
play the other ones is different.
Mhm.
I feel like most people like Assassin's Creed Black Flag, but I feel like that game started the end of Assassin's
Yeah.
Creed with
Yeah.
with
Yep.
with the way how they focus on the ship combat
Hmm.
and less on the actual fighting and the stealth in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, like, in itself, like, the ship combat was cool, and I didn't hate it, but I feel like they should have just made that itself like a different game in itself, instead, and left Assassin's Creed the way it was. Because and the only thing that's the same about the new Assassin's Creed and the old ones is they have hidden blades and they have the ships and there's fighting like that. They still have the ships and the ship combat, even though, like, that. I mean, most people like that stuff, but for me, it was just not it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so like the games that I really feel like were the absolute best were one, Assassin's Creed 2,
Black
Brotherhood,
one.
and then I would say 3 was like the last one that I like really really enjoyed. I didn't like. I mean, Black Flag wasn't like terrible, but like I didn't really enjoy it as much as like I did Brotherhood. Brotherhood was just like I
Yeah.
Oh, you
would
didn't
say
like
That's the
Revelations?
best one.
Yeah.
no.
Why don't we ever-
I didn't like Revelations either because
Nah.
I didn't
What?
like the story.
I liked Revelation.
I felt like
Uh,
they messed up Ezio. I didn't like the story with that one. Um, and then I think I didn't like the mechanics that they added. Um,
Mm.
but I mean that's just my opinion. I mean
Yeah.
I'm a diehard like Brotherhood fan
Yeah, brother.
because that one I felt like was peak Assassin's
Yeah.
Creed, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, go for it. Sorry.
no, yeah. So like I honestly after Black Flag was when I was just like, okay, I'm like kind of officially done because like I tried Revelations, I absolutely hated it. I couldn't get through the entire game. Like
Mm-hmm.
I
it was the beginning of the end.
I know
Wait.
when Brotherhood was coming out, and just a bunch of people. All I see is a bunch of people playing the trailer for Brotherhood,
Hmm.
and that trailer,
Trailers made.
that trailer was amazing. And we were playing it over and over. Most of the time, it's just watching how cool that cinematic was, and then it just like it introduces all the way at the end all the freaking Brotherhoods, all the assassins comes out, all the way from the church all the way at the end, and you're like, oh, this is hype. This is fucking hype. And then you play that game, it felt breathtaking, like a lie. It
Yeah.
felt breathtaking. Yeah.
But Dylan, did you play the first one like first, or did you not?
No, I didn't play it first. I think I played it was either the second one or Brotherhood that I played first.
But did you play Revelations before you played the first one?
No, I played it after.
That's probably why. Because I feel like for me, when I started playing Assassin's Creed, I started with the first one. I played the first one, and then I played the second, and I played them in order. Even though, like, the second, even I played the first one even when Brotherhood was out. Uh, and I played the first one, and then going through, and when Revelations came out, and I played Revelations, having played the first one and seeing, like, the castle of the assassins, and seeing Altair and seeing him come back and seeing how his story ended, and seeing like, it wasn't so much about Ezio in that game as it was about both of them, and finishing Altair's story and knowing what happened to him, and that's what I feel like made the game for me, and because Ezio, like, yeah, it's kind of like the same thing for Ezio. He's kind of like, yeah, uh, I'm just kind of like trying to figure out what the fuck happened for like the house of the castle, right? And what happened to Altair? He's kind of just like Boolin. He's just like, he's just trying to figure out what the fuck happened. Like, he wasn't, like, it wasn't so much about him in that game as it
I,
was about what happened to Altair.
I think you misunderstood because I said I played 2, 3, then 1, and then I played
Oh, okay.
then I played 4. But it wasn't how they did Altair. I liked what they did with Altair in that game. I just hated how they did my boy Ezio. I don't remember exactly what they did, but I just remember like hating what they did to him because I mean, Ezio was my boy. I mean, so like, yeah, that
I
was
mean,
like
but
the
it
main
makes
reason.
sense. It's because
It
like he was just getting old. He
yeah.
was old in the game, and it makes sense for him to be like, "Yo, guys, like, fuck this shit. I'm kind of just Boolin, like, doing whatever the fuck." Like that was kind of his attitude in that game, and like they kind of made it where he had to like build the Brotherhood again in like from like Brotherhood in Revelations, and he was just kind of like, "Bruh, like I done this shit, cuh." Uh, and like he just wanted all he wanted was to find the fucking the keys to open up the knowledge so that he could just chill. Like he could be like, "Yo, assassins, I got y'all." Like here's the fucking all the knowledge in the freaking in the temp or in the castle, and he could just fuck off and do whatever. But and then so like that's the story of the game, and he's you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is the same argument I had with like Vinland Saga, but but and I get any like I take any chance I can to talk about that shit because I fucking hated it. But this is gonna sound kind of stupid, but like just because it makes sense to me doesn't mean I'm gonna like it. And yeah, I know that sounds like really stupid, and it's like the same reason I didn't like the Vinland Saga ending because like it made sense. It made sense to Askeladd's character. Like he was supposed to die that way. It makes sense. Doesn't make me like it anymore. Like it was just super unsatisfying to me. Like and it's not even a problem with like I know I kind of made it sound like it was a problem with like how they wrote it, but like it that's not really it. Like I don't think there's any way they could have really ended it well. So like I think it's just me being a fucking like harsh critic, I guess, because like I don't think there's any way they could have like ended it to where I would have liked it. So it's kind of just unfortunate for them, but but yeah, like yeah,
By
I
the
still
way,
didn't I still didn't like it, even though it made sense.
season 2 has been confirmed. Season 2 for Vinland Saga has
Yeah.
been confirmed. So I can't wait to see and hear all about Dennis' reaction to season 2 when it comes out.
Yeah,
Can't wait.
I know I swore it off. Like I said I'm never gonna fucking watch it. I think I said that in the last one, but I know I'm gonna end up watching it honestly because like I'm just curious because and also the animation's like really cool, but like I'm curious if they're gonna like somehow like redeem it, which I highly doubt it. But if they do, good for them. But yeah, I'm probably just gonna watch it just because I'm curious, and I'll let you guys know what I think.
Can't wait, can't wait. Oh, something about like the new Battlefield based on what I've seen that it might have some exclusivity or some deal with Microsoft. So my understanding that means, in my understanding, if it has something with Xbox, does that mean it's gonna be on Game Pass? And if we pay for Game Pass, we'll be able to play Battlefield, the new Battlefield on the Game Pass instead of freaking paying $60. That's my understanding based on when I heard the rumor of like of Battlefield coming, probably having a deal with Microsoft. I don't know about you. You guys can put your input on it. I just it's something that I
It's
heard.
possible. It's definitely possible, but I'm not sure because
Do they do that with new games?
the thing is, right? EA has their own thing, right? And it's EA Play, right?
Yeah.
And they made a deal with Xbox, and they were like, "Yo, we're gonna put EA Play on the Game Pass." But the thing is, on Origin, on EA's like client,
Yeah,
they have EA Play, and then they have like the EA Play Premium or whatever it's called.
yeah,
And
Yeah.
with the premium, which is like I think $15 a month,
yeah.
where the
It's
regular
wrong.
one is like $5 a month, you get access to the new games as well as all the rest of the other ones. But what I don't know is I'm pretty sure that the one on the Game Pass, like the EA Play that they gave Game Pass, was the regular one and not the premium one. So I think it's up in the air whether they're gonna have the new Battlefield on there or not, and that I feel like lies within Xbox's will, I guess, if they want Battlefield on there or not, if they
I,
want to pay that money.
yeah. I wonder if they actually. I don't like. I want it to happen. Literally, like it's just like kind of like wishful thinking, but I don't think so. Just cause like now thinking about it, I don't think so. Just because Battlefield is kind of like a big franchise compared, like kind of like it's kind of like the competitor to Call of Duty in a sense, or I don't know if it still is, but because back then it was the competitor to Call of Duty. It was like Battlefield was more realistic and then Call of Duty was more arcadey in a sense. And if they basically put on an Xbox Game Pass, they might lose a lot of sales numbers on it. They might lose a lot of ton, and they will if they put it there. So I think they're not gonna put it there. And it's just me wishful thinking, basically, because based on I heard on how they were making a deal, my wishful thinking like, oh, if they do that, they're gonna put freaking Battlefield 2042 on the Game Pass, on the Xbox Game Pass. But I don't think so. I'm not gonna lie, just logically thinking about it, I don't think so because they're gonna lose a ton of money just by doing that, unless, like you said, Microsoft puts down a certain amount of money to have it on the Game Pass.
What was the last one that came out? It was back. It was like
Battlefield 5.
Battlefield 5.
That one
five.
flopped.
Yeah,
That
Is
one.
it?
it kind of flopped.
Battlefield 5
That
is the
one
one that's
really
in World War
flopped.
II.
Is it?
Yeah,
What?
that
What?
that
Yeah.
one.
What?
And then Battlefield 1 was in World War
Yeah.
1.
Mm,
Yo,
Okay, so Battlefield 5, I played that one, and to be honest, I feel like that's other than like I feel I played that Battlefield more than the other Battlefields. Well,
wait,
that I remember.
are you talking about 1 or 5, Randy?
5.
You played 5? When? I think
Um,
like I
why?
think I think he played 1 because I remember us playing 1 a ton, not 5.
no, I played 5 because of my coach from weightlifting.
Oh no, you played
Uh,
1, bro. You played 1.
was that
You
1?
Yeah, you
bowling,
played
bro.
1. You
Is
bully,
that
bro.
5 or 1? Let me
No,
see
1. You
1.
played 1.
Oh, it was 1. My bad.
You see, this man is bully right here.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was definitely 1, not 5. That's why 5 looked a little bit different. But yeah, with Battlefield 1, I played that a lot because of my coach. He would call me, so he's like, "Yo, you gonna hop on?" And me and him would hop on, and we would just fucking play. And it was just like it was great. It was funny, but it got to a point where I had to show off online. I apparently had a lot of homework because it was just getting annoying. It was just like constantly calling me to play. Like fuck my grades. I'm like, I'm on your team. You want me to get good grades? Like, no. He's like, no, get on. And that's the only thing we will talk about. But it was awesome.
Bro, did you not play Battlefield 3 or 4?
Yeah, I played. I played 3. I think. I'm definitely sure I played 3.
I played 3 in beta.
Yeah, yeah. I
yeah.
played 3.
I
Or
played
No,
3
I
on the
definitely
beta as
played
demo
well.
or
3.
whatever.
The
Let me see
beta on 3,
4.
I remember playing it, and I remember, oh, this is really dope. I want
Yeah.
to get it, but never
No
got
shot.
it.
Yeah, me too.
And 4. And I played 4 as well. I remember 4.
Yeah, 4 was
I,
good.
I played 4 the most.
Remember?
Do you guys remember the clip of the guy jumping out? They added in the trailer for the new one where he jumps
Yeah,
out of the jet. What battlefield is that?
I think it was
3 or 4.
3 or 4. One of
3 or
those.
4?
Probably 4.
4?
But
No.
yeah.
Probably 4.
I think it's 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
4, I think it was like 4 was really, really well done, and a lot of people enjoy 4 because it was modern, a setting, and it was really, really good. And one of the things I enjoy about 4, I suck at what's it called, at close combat AR submachine gun thing on Battlefield, but the thing I enjoy the most was sitting back with a sniper, and I was those sniper head ass Battlefield player,
Bruh.
and I would stay back all the time, just trying to go for the sickest long shot and stuff like that. But when I play Battlefield 1, I like the close combat better than the sniping because the sniping felt a little bit off. Either way, I still enjoy the sniping in Battlefield 1, but close combat on Battlefield 1 felt so nice, and I feel like I depreciated the Battlefield 4 close combat because Battlefield 4 close combat could have been so much better if I actually tried it out and just said nah, I just want to snipe only.
See, that's because you never played 24/7 North Shark Canals, bro.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true.
You ever play that, Dylan?
No, I haven't.
24/7. It was Battlefield 3 and 4.
Yeah,
I'm
I
pretty
didn't.
sure.
I didn't play. Like I said, I only played like the beta for Battlefield 3, and I didn't play Battlefield 4. So
So in that map, I played it a lot too. Uh, they they've made they basically it was basically shipment from COD, right?
Yeah.
And but it was shipment maybe like 4 shipments but put together.
Yeah.
But there was fucking 64 people on it. So it was just straight up chaos, like literally all the time. Like you would walk around the corner and there's already somebody. Like you would spawn in, walk around the corner, there's already somebody there. And that crap was so fun. Like I love that. I love playing that. You literally you know the what's it called? The one auto shotty. The striker, right? In COD,
Yeah.
I think it's called. They
Yeah.
had that
Yeah.
shit in that game, and that was like the most meta weapon because you'd have like 12 shots and you'd run around the corner, boom, 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 and you just fucking spray the shit out of people, and that shit was so fun. Like you'd like one shot, two shot people, like, and that shit was the most fun. Like I love playing that. That's why I have so many hours on 3 and 4 playing that.
yeah,
Literally just playing that.
the only one I played, I think it was like the really old one. I think it's Battlefield 1976. I think.
Oh.
1942.
1942, yeah, and it was like on PC. I think that's the only one I played like a significant amount. I don't remember even who I played that with, but I played that with some friends like a long ass time ago. So that's the only one I know about. I was more of a COD guy.
COD guy. For COD, I remember going to, I think it was we went to one either Walmart or something like that when the PS3 came out or Modern Warfare 2 came out, and I remember my stepbrother just grabbing the game and I was like, "What game is that?" And he's just like, "Oh, it's just a game. It's Call of Duty or something like that, Modern Warfare 2." And then we played it on the PS3 before we got Wi-Fi or anything like that, and we would play. It was Andy, me, my two other stepbrothers, and we'll play with a controller, 4-man split screen on one TV, and we would play on Rust, Estate, and stuff like that. And we'll be like, stop screen speaking, stop doing this, and
Yeah.
like. And I was asking my stepbrother like, "Oh my god, how you got so many kills? Where you got this kill streak from?" And that shit, like I remember, just like that was like the beginning of me liking getting into Call of Duty. And remember getting my first ever PS3 and playing Modern Warfare 2 all by myself for the first time. That was like that was when I literally like, okay, I love fucking video games. This is fucking fantastic. You can play online and kill people and on Modern Warfare 2 and get kill streak that were fucking explosive as hell. That was
Yeah.
dope, bro.
Yeah.
I just I just don't like how Call of Duty has gotten worse throughout the time because like Modern Warfare 2 was great, Black Ops 1 was great, Black Ops 2 was great, MW3 was great, and then it kept progressing and a lot of the Call of Duties just it didn't stick. A lot of the Call of Duties don't stick now. And they were so good and I'm really pissed that a lot of them are not good.
So what I think partially it is that Modern Warfare 2, COD 4, and like for the story Black Ops 1, like those like attained like such a high level of like respect that I feel like it has like the One Punch Man season 1 syndrome where like it just can't be as like the
The
next ones can't be as good. Yeah. So like everyone's
Yeah.
expectations are just like kind of shattered. It's also that they're just not as
Yeah.
good.
It's not
But
even the story though, that's the thing.
that's what I
Yeah.
liked about most of those
I like
games. But I
I,
like the multiplayer too.
Like I like the stories. The story was they're not bad. They're kind of like just you turn off your brain and you shooting people, da, da, da. And there's like sometimes like cool things that happen, like especially on Black Ops One. Black Ops One was like the most interesting one I enjoyed because it was very like complicated and
Yeah.
twisted thing at the end, and you were like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? I was like, yo,
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
that was really dope. And
Yeah.
then
Mhm.
I was so into Call of Duty because of the multiplayer. I think me and Andy were so into the Call of Duty because of
Yeah.
multiplayer. We we like the story mode. Not gonna lie, we like the story mode, but we didn't
Yeah. That.
care or we didn't invest too much time into that. We played it once, cool, nice story mode, multiplayer
I,
time, and we put so many hours into it. Go for it, go for it.
no. Yeah. I was just saying like specifically for Black Ops One because like I didn't like the multiplayer for Black Ops One. I loved like
I
the
like
Black Ops One was like the best story out of all of them in my opinion,
Mhm.
but like the multiplayer was like second rate at best for me. But I was talking about the multiplayer too for like the COD 4 and like Modern Warfare 2. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
the multiplayer for those were like amazing. But that also might be like nostalgia like type like that might be like a nostalgia type thing where like it was better in our heads um
I,
than
I
You
kind
actually.
of
connect
play
to the
I
characters
I
though.
kind of
You
play
that's the thing.
yeah, but I kind of play Modern Warfare 2 for even when it was like 8 years old. Because I like Modern Warfare 2. Even if I go back to this day, it might be nostalgia as well. But Modern Warfare 2 is one of the only Call of Duties that will go back the most, just because it's probably nostalgia first COD ever, and just like the dopamine of rush and going for nukes. That was like my main goal. Once I actually got good at the game, it took me such a long time to get good at the game, and it's like really hard to sometimes get good at the game just because you got to change the challenge of YouTubers, one man army YouTubers. I swear to God, I hate those
Mando
motherfuckers.
Pro.
Commander
The
Pro, I
Pro.
hate
Sniping
YouTubers
from a
because
mile
Jesus
away.
one man
Christ.
army pro. Like
It makes sense.
it's like that. It was a fucking broken ass game. Not gonna lie, it was a broken ass game.
You know what
Go for it.
about it is the mechanics.
Yeah.
The mechanics for the recent or like not recent, but the old Call of Duties like MW2, they're so smooth to my opinion compared to the new ones. I think that's why we liked it a lot was because of the mechanics.
Because
I
once you
enjoyed it because of the mechanics.
Because
There
when you did quick scoping on Modern Warfare 2, it felt so
so
much better, and they tried to replicate it as much as possible on the next Call of Duty because it became very popular, and it was kind of different each Call of Duty because you can tell from different Call of Duty. It's kind of like the one Call of Duty like developer was like, oh, quick scoping I don't really like it that much. Let's nerf the DSR from Black Ops 2. Nerf that shit to the
Yeah.
ground.
so yeah, that's so if it's specifically the quick scoping you're talking about, that's because they
Yeah.
were trying to nerf it in like every single one, and then
Yeah.
after that, like I remember they nerfed it like super hard in Black Ops One, which was partially why I
Yeah,
didn't like it, and
Yeah, learn how to quick scope.
yeah,
yeah.
that's when I started learning how to like actually use like machine gun, which is I hate when people say like using them like the machine guns and shit like that
Red
is like
gunning, red
harder
gunning.
than quick scoping because it's not because I adapted super easily. Anyways, but like so the reason it feels so different is because they were trying they nerfed it super hard and then they were trying to rebuild it so they could like balance it and the next one's over, but they never figured it out because it was just super OP in like Modern Warfare 2 and like COD 4. Um, so like that's my theory.
Yeah.
Um, and I know for a fact that that's what they were doing for Black Ops 1 and I'm assuming what they did afterwards too.
Yeah.
Cuz even in the new COD what is it? Is like it's not Warzone,
Cold
Cold War.
it's Cold
War
War.
right now? It's Cold War.
Like the quick scoping is still clunky as fuck. So
I
Yeah.
like scoping on Cold War. Not gonna lie, I
it's
have
okay.
it's kind of a little guilty
It's
pleasure because the Modern Warfare one was not as good as I thought because you gotta figure out certain best what's it called attachment for it so you can have a certain amount like quiz
Modern
speed.
Warfare was clean though.
Modern Warfare,
The
yeah, it
new
was
one?
clean. Yeah, the new one for
Yes.
sniping, it was clean.
Bro.
It felt satisfying to kill someone as a sniper. I'm not gonna lie.
in my
But
opinion it just wasn't as good. Go ahead, Chris.
I think Cold War, it's not bad. I think that the gunplay and the mechanics in Cold War were decent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just the maps were giga dog shit.
Yeah.
Facts.
Like the
Facts.
worst, absolute worst maps that I've ever played.
Yep.
And literally like the only reason that I would go back and play it now, like playing it from like release, like I was like, okay, I'm playing the new one. It's alright. The maps are trash. But then
Yeah.
they took so long to release like old maps. Like
Mm-hmm.
they're just releasing the old maps now because these new ones are just fucking trash, and they're just releasing the old like Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2 maps
Yeah.
because those are the ones that people like. But like now it's just too late. Like now I don't even want to go back and play it. And it's not even because of the maps, like now it's time or whatever. It's because playing those maps in the beginning just sours your experience so much, at least for me it did. And and playing those maps with the type of people that played the new Modern Warfare and then coming to the Cold War just ruined the game. Like uh the new Modern Warfare ushered in a new type of playing, like they took camping to a whole new fucking level. Like I can't even explain it. Like if you went back in time and you told a person from fucking Blops 2, bro, like they tried to explain the camping to them that they're gonna see in the new Blops and in Cold War, they wouldn't believe you. Like they'd be like, no way, bro.
Uh,
What's
Like
worse than that? I thought the new Modern Warfare. I thought that was worse. Camping. The camping was so worse.
that's
That's what he
that's
said.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Well, they're talking about
The,
Cold War. I was like,
I'm talking about both. I'm saying that
yeah,
in Modern Warfare, it brought those players, those new kids that learned how to play like that, and then they stayed and they still play like that in Cold War, and that's what it
yeah.
ruins the game.
I learned from Modern Warfare 2 to Black Ops 2 was the my when I wanted to like rush people and play like flanking the enemy team. I go with like I go with a submachine gun or an AR with like dead silence or like what's it called, ninja, where it basically gives you like your foot, what's it called, it's like either lower
Talent.
or
Yeah.
like it's either lower or silent at all your first steps. But when they put that shit up on one, when they literally nerfed the hell of like, it's not even a nerf. They didn't even put it. Literally, they didn't even put it on Modern Warfare 2, on the new Modern Warfare 2019. All they did was like a full upgrade that you get, that it takes like 2 or 3 minutes to get it for 20 seconds or less, and you get, and I felt like that silence or ninja was supposed to be, or it should have been an essential into that game, because the way you open a door, you run it open to a door, and you just see everybody turn around because they can hear that big ass door freaking open, or your footsteps loud as hell running up the stairs just to get the flank out of them because you want to rush them and flank them from behind. And they just hear you go doom 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 doom, and all you see all the campers just turn around with all their like shotgun, AR, and stuff like that, and just shoot you instantly. And it felt more punishing to push other people and rush other people than just like literally just stay in one building and literally just stay there the whole entire game. And for me, I don't like that game style. It feels very
Exactly.
restricting. It feels very punishing. Like, I don't mind people camping, but to that level of camping, it's like it's just like I'm gonna say it's trash, because in older Call of Duty you can camp, but boy, if the enemy team has a fucking guy with a UMP with a silencer and what's it called, dead silence, you gotta be fucking careful, my dude, because you're gonna get fucking like literally what's it called, flank and killed behind, because you're not gonna hear his footstep coming, bro. But they ruined that shit. They ruined that shit, and it
It,
pissed me off.
and another thing is like uh not wanting to play the new one, because having those players playing like that, and they add in the old maps like raid or whatever, and you go back and you want to play raid like how it was, it's not the way it was, because all these dudes are just going to be camping in some random ass corner, and then you're going to be running like, okay, there's probably not going to be a person there, but there is, because there's somebody fucking camping, and it's just like, bruh, like why are you playing like this? You're playing like I just can't, like that's why I don't want to go back and play those old maps in the Cold War.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
play. Yeah, go for it, Dylan.
Oh, yeah, that kind of, yeah, I agree with that. I completely forgot about that. Yeah. But I remember Chris. I think you told me this, but like, it kind of like makes sense why they're doing this, and not in a good way. But like for some reason, the people that like make Call of Duty are like super horny with like getting rid of the like CQB type shit, and like
What
that
is that?
makes like run and gun
Close
type
quarter
shit.
combat.
Yeah, close quarter combat,
Yeah.
like run and gun type shit. Which makes sense because they nerfed the quick scoping, sorry, which is that type of gameplay. And then like also the reason they are so horny for doing that is because they're trying to be a lot more like Battlefield, which is why they made like the big maps, and
Yeah.
they nerfed like the dead silence and all of that shit. I think Chris told me that. And it makes sense why they're like encouraging this like campy style gameplay. However, the mechanics for COD, like the fundamental mechanics, like they're not meant for like a milsim type game. They're like COD is just not meant to be like a milsim type game. It's just not like the fundamental like mechanics of it. It's not like Rising Revengeance. It's not like Arma. It's not like Tarkov and like all these types of games. So I don't understand why they keep trying to be like those types of games. And I know I said Battlefield because Battlefield's kind of like that too.
Yeah.
Um, but Battlefield actually does it right, for the most part. But yeah, I don't understand why they're trying to like ruin their own game.
What's your thought about all of this, Andy? I want to hear it from you since you were really good and you really like Call of Duty a lot.
I like Call of Duty a lot. So when I was playing Call of Duty, I like the quick scoping. I really like snipers. But what kept me into Call of Duty was trick shotting, feeding, and stuff like that. And it started with Black Ops 2, where I actually started getting into it. Like I got into that whole community. Like that's one game where you know how we went back like, oh, what do you like about the game, the story, community? Like that's one thing that I really enjoyed was the community. Just meeting a lot of people, literally hopping on six mans and just going to hit trick shots. And when we do hit a trick shot, it was such an excitement. We were all screaming, cheering for each other. And there was a moment where we stopped. It's like the whole we just realized how amazing it is to spend time with someone and to cherish your time with someone. Like we like I built so many relationships like back then and just trick shotting. A lot of the games that came out new, I think after Advanced Warfare, the trick shotting just wasn't there for me. It wasn't there for the community. It kind of died. It really did. Advanced Warfare was actually very interesting for trick shotting. Was actually a good thing for trick shotting. It added so many variety of things, and it was awesome because of the boost. But yeah, I'm just sad that so much has changed. Is not the same.
I just like I just hope it's not just like a shareholder thing where they're trying to push a quota for the developer to try to get the game out as fast as possible to make that revenue. And the other day, or I think it was yesterday, I was watching the All Craft podcast with Asmongold and his friend. They were interviewing the Ashes of Creation, the lead developer, the guy literally he basically is a big ass MMO fan. He's been an MMO fan from a young age and stuff like that. But I don't want to get too much in detail about that because that's a different story. But I just want to say that he said it's not the developer's fault most of the time that the game is bad. It's just the people at top, people who are the shareholder who make the decisions, are basically rushing them or telling them to make the game this certain way because it makes either a lot of revenue for them. And he was telling that developers, the thing, and it's the thing I found out that developers don't get paid as much. They don't get paid as much
Yeah.
as like you think they
Yeah,
do.
I heard
And
about that.
and and they make games for the sole reason to see what the players are gonna see about it, if they love it and stuff like that. And just noticing that a bunch of us Call of Duty players or a bunch of the Call of Duty community, always the first thing they do is bash on the developer. And it's not just Call of Duty, there's a bunch of other games. When it's like either trash or stuff like that, we go out of the way like bash this creator, death threat, all this crazy shit. But when you find out it's not fully the developer's fault. It's just the decision on top, the shareholders telling them, yo, we made so much money this way through microtransaction, through this, all this stuff. Let's do it again. Let's do it again, over and over again, and it ruined less the quality of the game. It's just more of quantity. How much can we push? How much money can we make? And and it sucks to hear that, because most of the games now that you see now, they feel like you're testing the game when it releases. You're paying $60 just to beta test a game instead of having a full game, because they're only gonna add DLC into it. They're gonna add more shit into it, in a sense of like, oh, we just fixed, like they were like, oh, we made a patch, we added this to the game, da da da. But it was, and then you find out originally it was supposed to be inside the game, but since they had to meet a deadline, they couldn't put it all at once, because it needs to meet a deadline so the shareholder can make money, or the can make money for the company, in a sense.
I think I don't think it's like 100% always the shareholder. I think it can be like a little bit of both. Like I think
Riot,
sometimes. Go ahead.
What you said? What you said?
riot.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Cause um, cause like okay, taking the Riot example, like they honestly, I don't know what the heck happened in between like season 3 and like now, but like it's just gone downhill like so far with like balancing and like who needs to be buffed, who needs to be nerfed, who needs like what new champions do we do? Because I think that one's like a little bit of both. Like, because the way they do like champion releases, especially like they make them like super OP when they come out, and then they'll nerf them after, and like they do that. I think this is like common knowledge at this point that they do that to get people to buy the champion. But also just like with how they're balancing, I don't think the shareholders know anything about the balancing. So like
oh,
that's clearly like on the developers and whoever they're fucking with. And like yeah, so I think in like most of those kind of like not like generalizations, but like most of those like kind of statements, it's like always a little bit of both. And like I
yeah.
don't think it's always like 100% one of these guys' fault. Like
Just
and
blame the whole company.
Yeah,
yeah,
I was just saying most. I was saying most of that just because I feel we blame more as a community. We blame more the developer than the top guys, in a sense.
well,
We blame more of them because they're basically they have a
We
community
gotta be
taking
fair.
advantage.
That's what you're
And
trying
I
to say.
said,
yeah,
I
CD
said, yeah,
Projekt Red.
we gotta be fair in a
yeah,
sense, because
Blame everybody,
because the first
not
thing we
just one party.
no, because of the first thing you see is like, oh man, these developers, they don't know what the fuck they're doing, da da da. And I understand sometimes it happens for like, especially fucking Riot. Have you seen the fucking new champ? Have you seen the fucking new champ? Bro? I'm
yeah,
so pissed at that
Did you see it?
champ. It's so
yeah,
broken, man. It's so fucking
Oh
broken.
yeah, you said
yeah,
if it's close to a wall or in the bush is invisible forever or whatever.
Oh my
Yeah.
something like
god.
Oh
that.
yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
And it's
But
just like, go for it, go for it, go for it.
well, I mean, so I feel a little bit like so okay, I agree, like I think we're not fair to the developers, but I do agree with criticism, just like constructive criticism,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like just sending death threats, like why would you do
yeah.
that? Like
That's the
what is
thing.
that going to accomplish? That's they're not going to change anything because you send a death threat. Like I don't understand why people do that, but like actually like the thing I love, one of the things I love about RuneScape is like Jagex is actually very communicative with their community, and they actually listen, and they have polls, and they almost listen a little too much, honestly, um, which can actually be a problem.
Well,
Which is
pipe.
something they're yeah with that they actually so okay So
Go
there is this
for it.
item in this game, right, that has been out since I think 2016. Um, which in the game, the this version of the game came out in 2013. So that was like a long time ago for this game, right? And they haven't touched that thing, and it's been pretty much the most OP weapon, um, for for however long that is, right? Um, and they finally, just like I think actually just like a week ago, they finally nerfed it. And you know why? Because
What?
they kept trying to put out polls saying, "Hey, we want to nerf the blowpipe," um, but it just kept getting rejected. They just kept getting rejected every single time, even though they were having a power creep issue. Because there's like the top tier weapon, which is called the T-bow, which is
Yeah.
1 bill. It's 1 bill GP, which is a lot of money. And then you
It's
have the blowpipe.
$800 IRL.
How
It's
much?
it's what? Sorry.
It's like $800 IRL.
Eight
Yeah,
hundred.
it's something like that. Like almost 1,000. Yeah.
That's
Um,
insane.
and then you have the blowpipe, which is the second most OP weapon in the game, and that's 3 mil. 3 mil. 3 mil. Yeah, and it got lower. So so you have a huge power creep issue, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, the reason they had that issue was because they listened to the community too much. So there is too much community, like too much
From
listening to the community.
yeah.
There definitely is. But I forgot where I was going with that. But like honestly, but yeah, like I think yeah, I think that's what they need to do with like League, right? Is they need to be like open and like open to criticism, and like I think that's what every developer needs to do. They just need to be a lot more open to criticism. Like most developers, they'll just like ignore criticism, or they'll like not even take it into account, or they'll put out some like phony statement like Cyberpunk, and be like, "Yo, sorry, we fucked up" or whatever. Um, so so I think uh yeah, I honestly forgot where I was going with that. You got me on a tangent.
You were saying about the so one thing that you were saying is a lot of people don't give constructive criticism. They just
Yeah,
criticize everything. So
yeah,
that's what you're saying that they should have more of like RuneScape where they're listening to the people who are playing their game. I definitely think that's helpful because I see like a lot of games like Call of Duty is a good game where the developers or whoever's doing the game should
I don't give
listen
a
to the
fuck.
players. And that's the thing, they don't give a fuck. And I feel like why they don't give a fuck is because people are just send them death threats and
Yeah.
say all these things. The thing is, people, and it's with everything. And I truly try to work on it as much as I won't tell you something is wrong just to hate on you or anything. I'll tell you, okay, this is wrong, and then I would love to find solutions to it. I would help you with the solution. I was like, send you to the right directions, and we
Yep.
don't do that. It's just easier for us to criticize and don't figure out the solution.
yep,
Let them figure it out,
Yeah.
yeah,
and that's the
and
thing. That's why it's like they don't want to figure it out.
yeah, and I think one person that is like a little bit bad about this is is actually Angry Joe. Um, like I love watching his videos. I think they're like absolutely hilarious. But like especially like the Last of Us one, I there's like a clip in there I've like played a million times. Like I love it, but I think he like he just goes off on the developers, and he doesn't really give any like criticism. And I know part of it is entertainment,
Yeah.
but and he's like making money off of it and all that, but I think like that's like a model example of like what we don't want, of like
Yeah,
between like the relationship between like developers and like
the
uh
creator.
yeah, and like the players.
Yeah,
So yeah, and I think the shareholders kind of play a part in that too. Um, because the developers don't. Michael, you're right. The developers don't have too much of a say.
Yeah.
When it comes to like the game, they do have a say. They do have a little bit of a say, but like the shareholders manipulate like I'd say probably like 60% of it.
Yeah.
Um, so so yeah, I think that's like also a problem too. Like with all these shareholders, like EA, um, specifically, like I'm pretty sure I want to say like that's 90% like the shareholders' fault. Like the
Yeah.
fact that they're putting all of these copies of games out. So
I,
Hmm.
I just feel like what you say is like it's a balance thing. It depends on the situation. When it comes to balancing, it could probably be the developer's fault in a sense because they're the one who
yeah.
actually are going in and like balancing things out. And then when it comes to like I would say the major thing, the direction of the game, like microtransactions,
Mhm.
like what's it called, like I don't know. It's just the direction. Most of the times, it could probably be the direction of the game where they want to take the game. Because sometimes, developers say, "I want to take the direction of the game," but then the shareholders like, "Nah, we can't go. That's too risky. That's too much." Because sometimes there's some developers want to be very ambitious and want to do and kind of not reinvent the wheel, but like kind of add their own spin into it, and then they basically I will say this is how probably it goes. They pitch it to the shareholders, and some of the shareholders like, yeah, it sounds good, but I feel like that's too risky in a sense.
Do you think it involves funds? Like they
Money.
can't do it because they don't
Yeah,
have
yeah,
money
Yeah, for
to.
sure.
yeah, it's for sure
Mm.
that it's all around money, but I feel like it should like this should sometimes risk it because like Activision when it comes to like Call of Duty, they just need to like either make Call of Duty every 2 years or every 3 years and take time with Call of Duty and
Hmm.
make it to a point where like it feels good, the developer feels good. Okay, we balance pretty well. Make the game really well established. Like we have good kill streak, we have good gunplay, we have good story mode, we have like good
Good
what's it called
maps.
maps, like especially maps because you could have the best gunplay, but the maps. No, especially how they call Cold War. They need to take time with their product. They can't be just okay. Call of Duty has been a good staple every single year. Let's keep pumping more and more and more and more.
Mhm.
We will false, like not false advertise, but we will basically kind of like exaggerate this point of the game that was the pitching cell of the game. Where like, oh, this year we're gonna bring back this thing from this previous Call of Duty, but then the rest of the shit is shit.
Yeah.
And we've seen it like oh we're bringing back foot on the ground da 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 this is gonna be amazing and then you just play the game and it's like fuck man this shit is shit how do they keep fucking up a lot
Yeah.
and
Goes
I
back to
get
the
to the point
shareholders.
yeah
Yeah.
yeah I get to the point where it's just it gets to the point where it's like it's half and half
Yeah.
most of the time. Most of
Yep.
the time could be the shareholders' fault, but most of the time could be the developer fault when it comes to balancing and all that stuff. But it's just I feel like most of the time we are blaming too much of the developer instead of like the kind of like being more open like to what's going on to the thing, and we don't have time to like in a sense care too much about what's going on. We just want to see it fixed now, and we want to see a better game now in a sense
Yeah.
as a player.
And we don't know what the actual situation is. Like, so we can't.
Yeah,
We just kind of assume like what it is. So
that's
that's
true.
another
That's
problem.
Going into Star Wars,
true.
there's they released a new fucking uh trailer or whatever about this upcoming project called Star Wars Visions. And basically it's gonna be a whole anthology series, right? And every episode, well almost every episode, is made by a different studio. So kind of
What?
like Love Death Robots or whatever. I forgot what it was called on Netflix. Uh every episode is made by a different anime studio. Not like a cartoon studio, like like a actual Japanese like anime studio.
That's a yikes.
Some of them being actually from what I can remember, I know that the uh creators of uh or the animators of Attack on Titan, the first 3 seasons are gonna be making an episode for that.
Really?
Mm.
What?
Yeah. Trigger, which one is that one?
Trigger
I
is
don't know
like
them.
it's like have you ever
They
seen
made
the
what?
Like I think they made Kill a Kill. I know they made Kill a Kill. They made I don't know sure if they made Trigger. They made so many freaking good things. Their art style is very unique.
I know that Darling in the Franks is one of the studios as well.
I think Darling in the Franxx was made by Trigger as well. They made
Yeah.
Premiere. They made. Let me see all the anime. Right. They made Kill a Kill. They made Darling in the Franxx. That one's really good.
Yeah.
That's Squid Man. Let me see all the other good ones. Most of them they have done like the top things that they have done is between Kill a Kill, which was a really good one that people love enjoy a ton. Also, Darling in the Franks. Darling in the Franks first half was really good. The rest was not that good. But yeah, they have made so many good like actual anime with their unique art style and stuff like that. And I think if they bring that over to Star Wars, it's gonna be look cool. I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be really good.
Yeah. So like every episode is gonna be different. They're not gonna be so much connected, I don't think. But there's gonna be like a varying genre, like kind of like different varying genres. So there are gonna be like some that are lighthearted, like funny stories or whatever, and then there are gonna be ones that are more serious and dark and gritty. And there's even one that's like Samurai Jedi.
I saw that. That looks
And
cool.
yeah, and I mean honestly, I some people aren't looking forward to it. I don't know why. I guess it's not anime people, but I think that that's gonna be something. Depending on the episode, that some of the episodes are probably gonna be pretty special and be amazing to see.
So the oh, sorry. Go ahead, Michael.
No, I just say I was confirming what he was saying.
So the reason I said yikes, and I guess it was like a little premature because when you said it was being made by like a bunch of different studios, all I could think of was the Berserk movies because that was made by two different studios, um, and they couldn't agree on like what they were gonna do. So the first two movies look like kind of wonky in a lot of scenes, and then the last one's like really good. But like I was thinking like between like however many studios you said, I was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be a nightmare. But I mean, I guess now that I think about it, like if it's like a different episode,
Hmm.
um, like per studio, like that actually might be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Some of them
it
have multiple.
Yeah, so is it gonna be like following the same characters throughout the entire thing, or is it gonna be like a
I,
different story every single time?
I think a different
No,
story.
every studio has different stories
Yeah.
that
Okay.
they're gonna tell.
Okay,
Because
yeah, that would
Yeah.
be cool.
like based on the article, it's saying it's gonna be short films. So you know when it comes to
Hmm.
short films, they're probably gonna have like the anime studio that gets that part or that episode are gonna do like a little short film. This could be like 30 minutes long, 40 minutes long, or 20 minutes long, depending on how they do it. I think it's pretty cool how they call it visions because when I saw the trailer, or I think I saw it with Chris, I saw the how cool because like a bunch of like the Japanese animators were so hyped that they just got this project. They're always telling me, "Yo, I always want to do something with Star Wars. I love Star Wars since I was growing up." And the pretty cool thing that we get to do something like even if it was at least a short film, we get to what's it called? With it and seeing an animator from Japan get so excited about that makes me freaking hype because when they're hype, that means the animation is gonna be unique. It's gonna be fantastic. The storyboard is gonna be fucking amazing, and I can't wait. I really cannot wait for that.
So I have another question. Do you guys know if it's gonna be canon?
Ooh, I don't know about that one.
Because if
Mm,
it's gonna be canon, I might feel a little bit different about it. Because
I don't know.
they might try to change shit, and that might make me a little angry if they do.
I think based on this says the vision will be a series of animated short film that celebrates the Star Wars galaxy through the lens of anime creators. There will be 10 fantastic vision all. So it probably is not gonna be canon because it's gonna be how the anime studio creator looks what Star Wars is into their own words or to their own vision. That's why it's probably called vision and how they phrase it in the way where it's like it looks through the lens of anime creators. It's not. it could be canon, but I don't think it's like there's like a low chance it could be canon, but it's like more of like how they look, how they're gonna animate the their little short film, how something that they always like dream to like animate or wish it was real in a sense that they are able now to do something with it instead of like basically having what's it called, copyright issues, or because of fan made stuff and stuff like that. Now they have the right to make their own short vision of what they think Star Wars is. That's what I think it is, because based on how the article is writing it, what's it called? It's just like their vision, their short lens of what Star Wars could be, or what they thought Star Wars was when they were watching it for the first time.
Makes sense.
I think we passed game 2 of the, was it game 2 of the Suns and
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Bucks?
Yeah.
So yeah, so Suns are up 2-0 right now. And I know we talked about who we had to win the finals. So Trey Young is not there anymore, so boo-hoo. Sorry, Michael. Bucks apparently from a lot of resources are Kendrick Perkins, I think he says the Bucks are the most dumbest team in the finals. I don't know why, but what are your guys' thoughts on it right now?
Um, so on it, I've been saying this like pretty much every time we talk about the Suns. I think the Suns are going to take it.
Yeah.
Um, just
How many
cause
games?
in how many games?
Yeah,
Oof. I'm gonna say possibly four, maybe five. I'm gonna say 4 or 5.
I agree.
Because they already beat them. So the next one, um, wait, is the next one gonna be at the Bucks?
Yeah, the next 2 games are gonna be
Okay, so I'm gonna say 5 or 6 then. I'm gonna say 5 or 6, cause they already beat them at the Bucks. So I think they could probably do it again. But maybe the Bucks will take the next one because Giannis was like popping off. But
yeah.
Suns will definitely get the one after that, and then I think the Suns will get the one after that. Because for one, I think just the duo of Devin Booker and CP3 is just like too OP. Two, their defense is like, I mean, they stopped the Lakers, so like I'm still going off on that. Like their
Hmm.
defense is like really really good. Even though Giannis like popped off, who's gonna do anything about Giannis though? Like I don't think there's anything you can do like to stop that man like actually. But the supporting cast was just like not there for Giannis, and I think it will probably be the same in every single game. Maybe not the next one. But looking at the Suns in juxtaposition, like the Suns have like an insane supporting cast. I mean, you got Aiton, you got I think is it Payne or Peyton? Like that dude was popping off. The one guy was it Michael Bridges? Got like a career high in points. I think he got like 29 points. Like their supporting cast is just like insane for the Suns, while the Bucks is.
Yeah,
Uh oh.
I think any disconnect.
I noticed he froze.
By the
You
way,
get it?
Dylan, the games are always 2-2, then alternate.
All right. You're back.
What do you mean 2-2 then alternate?
You got any?
So the first team gets 2 home games, then it's 2 away games, and then game again, away game, home.
Oh, so wait, so the first one was home? Wait, no, I thought the first one was at the Bucks.
Suns. No, 2 at Suns and then 2 at Bucks, and it's gonna go back to Suns, then Bucks, and then like
That's what I'm
game
saying.
7's at Suns.
I thought the first one was at the Bucks.
It's
I'm
always like
Boolin.
that. It's always like that.
I'm Boolin. All right, you were right. It was Phoenix home. Why did I think the Bucks were home?
No.
That's fine. I was just telling you so you know.
No,
That it's
yeah,
like
no.
that.
Thank you for telling me because I had no idea because I was going off of that. Um, okay, that's gonna completely change my answer then. Um,
That's what I'm saying. Like, in the beginning, like, whoever wins the first away game usually has like a
that's
big advantage.
that's what I was going off of because I thought they won away. The
Yeah.
first one.
But that's why I'm saying, like, I usually like never watch the first 2 games unless it's like the Magic. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like even if it was, even if it's not the Magic, I might not watch it unless it's like a game 7. But but those first 2 games, like usually they just don't fucking matter
Yeah.
because they're both home games, and if they lose one, then it's a big deal. But if the home team wins both, then it's just like whatever because the other team will probably win their home games. Most of the
Yeah.
time, it's like that.
Yeah, but I mean, like even so, honestly, like I don't know, maybe the Bucks will like get their shit together in the next two. Um, but I mean, like the fact that like Giannis put up what was it like 48 in game 2 and like they still lost and it wasn't even fucking close. Like that just says something about the team. Like
Yeah.
like that's insane to me. So I still think the Suns are gonna win either way. It might not be in like game 5 or 6. It might go to game 7,
Nah,
but
no way.
you don't think it will go to game 7?
Game
I
5
don't
at
think so.
most.
You think? Oh wow,
I don't
okay.
think they'll win.
Suns are
You
gonna
don't
win.
you don't think the Suns are gonna win?
No,
Or
no.
I don't
Suns are
think the
gonna
Bucks
win
will
game
win.
5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know. If I was saying the
Oh,
Bucks,
you think it will be over in 4, or you think?
4 or 5.
Well, wait, Chris, you think they're gonna be? Is it gonna be over in 4?
Maybe 4 or
Wow.
5. I'd say.
Okay.
I wouldn't doubt. I wouldn't be surprised if they sweep them.
Yeah,
Me either.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I'm gonna say 5 or 6. I'm gonna say 5 or 6.
Because I mean, even the fucking Hawks gave them trouble, and now they have this fucking young Trae
Yeah,
Young.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
yeah.
I
Giannis.
for me, who I don't know too much.
Giannis is
Based,
enough.
yeah,
Yeah,
based on
exactly.
how game 2 went, I feel like yeah, Sun got this. Like, either like game 5, by game 5, like they might lose one. It's okay, but I feel like by game 5 they will have this.
She started talking like you were their coach. It's okay if you guys lose one. It's okay. We still got it in 5.
It's because I don't know too much about NBA and how that works, but I know like based on how they were playing and stuff like that, I feel like they had the upper hand, and not just because they have CP3 and they have Devin Booker. It just felt like they were more as a team and working their ass off to just actually win the game instead of like what's it called. Like, oh, we have one All Star, and and the rest of our players are a supportive cast in a sense. Like how Dylan was saying that like the supporting cast was not on their toes and basically working their ass off. Ah.
Well, we gotta give credit to DeAndre Ayton as well because we say CP3 and Devin Booker, but
That's
DeAndre Ayton is actually putting in work and he's in the paint.
yeah.
Is it Crawford? Is it Jamal Crawford? Is his first
No,
name? Or
Crowder, Jay
Crawford?
Crowder.
Crowder.
Jay Crowder.
That
Jay Crowder, dude, his shooting is amazing. He opened it. I think it was game 1. He opened hot. He was hot that
yeah.
time, the first quarter. So they got a solid team. Only person that Milwaukee has is Middleton. That he went off in the third quarter. I think it was against the Hawks, and that was about it.
Yeah, and like that's what I was saying. Like the supporting cast for like the Suns is like absolutely insane compared to like the Bucks. Like I didn't see most of the Bucks do really much of anything besides Giannis. And like Giannis was
Yeah.
struggling, especially game 2. Like Giannis was like he was even shooting threes, man, and he was making them. And like
Like shit.
he always airballs those. I'm so proud of like as much as I hate the Bucks, I'm so proud of Giannis for like just like sucking it up and like knowing he might airball this and like still going for it until he makes one. Like I honestly I don't know if I was in the NBA, I don't know if I'd have the courage to do that. Like just because like I know how many times he fucking airballed that shit. So like I'm
No,
proud of
his
him for
3 point is
trying.
actually good. I think
It's getting
like
better. It's getting
let
better.
me let me check right now. His 3 point percentage.
100% sure it's not very high for the season, but in the last one he was actually making them.
Oh,
I'm
He's
a
like,
hundred
oh,
percent. I'm 100%. It's not high for the season.
I'm about to check right now.
Yeah.
30%,
That's pretty low.
which is, bruh, compared to like, there's other people who have it low.
I think
'Cause the
40 is
highest is
like
40.
good. 40
Yeah,
is
but
like
not a lot
good.
of people shoot 40, bro. Not a lot of people shoot 40.
For
Or
threes, right?
high. Yeah.
Yeah, three.
Yeah, 30 is decent, especially for him
Uh,
since he's fucking awful.
These are.
He's still awful. Like, that's my point. Like,
Like,
so the
but that
highest.
and I
no,
don't think
but
he
that
throws
means
up a
like
lot of them though.
he's that's what I'm saying. That's what I was about to say. Like he throws up high percentage ones. That's why his percentage is that good. Uh,
Do you
like that's why it's like decent at a decent number, even though he's awful at them.
Yo, that's
do you know
pretty
how
tough.
many he throws up per game? Like total?
Probably,
Give me
probably like I'd probably say less than. I'd probably say like 3.
3 point attempts.
Attempts. It would be attempts per game.
3.6.
Yeah, see?
3.6.
3.6.
That's what.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's not
Damn,
bad.
Chris was like,
Although
yeah, it was
although I feel like it's probably a lot higher in the playoffs.
Yeah, he's been doing great, bro. Yeah, we gave him shit for free throws, but I seen him go. He was really good at his mid shot and 3-pointer. When he shot it, he was good. So I don't understand. Maybe it's the nerves getting into the playoffs, because a lot of people don't make it to the playoffs, and especially like to the finals. So I think it's nerves.
Maybe.
But he's pulling some Jimmy Butler shit, because last year Jimmy Butler went off. He carried the Miami to the finals, give it his all, and definitely deserves.
Who
some
won the
credit.
finals last year?
Lakers.
Lakers.
It was Lakers versus
And
Miami, and Lakers
gross,
like sweep them.
gross.
one thing.
Apparently, they said that's the most difficult playoff slash finals there was ever. So like that one is more meaningful than anything, but I think that's the most bullshit shit I've ever heard.
Okay, I'm glad you started getting into this, because I saw someone talking about like how people are like writing this finals off. Like, why the fuck?
Yeah.
Just because there's injuries, like why the fuck are you writing all of this off? Like, these are clearly really good teams. Like,
Yeah.
the Suns especially, like their entire team is like fucking amazing. Like, I think even at full strength, like, because they ran through the fucking Lakers like it was nothing. Like,
Yeah.
I think
They're number one seed.
yeah, like, and the Bucks like are like a good team as well. So I don't understand why people keep writing off these people just because they're whoever they fanboy over is not in. Like, even Chris can like respect like these teams. Like, I think Chris respects these teams more than if it were like
Yeah.
those fanboy teams. Even though it's not the team he likes, he could still respect these guys. Like, I honestly don't understand, bro. Like, these fucking
They
LeBron stands, bro. I swear
they
to God.
complained about having LeBron and Curry again. Oh my god! But when this is the first playoffs or the first finals in 10 years that doesn't involve LeBron or Curry,
That's
and they're still
crazy.
complaining.
Why?
Yeah.
So like, what do you want?
Why?
You want all stars teams in the finals, bro?
Yeah.
West and East for the
They want-
finals, and then whatever East sides get the fucking championship. Like, what do you want
They want Jordan back.
exactly? They want Jordan. They want Shaq to come out of retirement. They
Yeah.
want like Magic Johnson to play. Like, you want the dream team from the USA team. Like, what do
Exactly.
you want exactly?
I don't understand, bro.
I
Yeah.
want the Magic to win a championship.
All right, man. You
Yeah.
need to like go to a different. It's like saying the Cowboys are gonna win something, bro. Never gonna happen.
Damn. Chill,
I'm
bro.
sorry.
But the Cowboys are a bandwagon team. Magic aren't.
Yeah. Magic are the
Because
underdogs.
all of them left. They realized. They realized there's no hope here. Oh man. You know what? I do. I'm cheering for the Magics because I actually want to go to the playoffs. I want to go to a game for the playoffs, and I don't want to drive to Miami or to somewhere that actually goes to the playoffs. I want my home team. It's literally like a 20-minute drive from here, so
So I'm
I
cheering
really
for the
hope
Hornets
that.
now. Because I'm going to North Carolina. Chill.
Okay. Oh, I forgot. But
Yeah,
actually, I don't mind the Hornets if the actual Ball brothers go there. If all
bro.
three go there, I would
If
actually
that shit
cheer for them because
happens,
it's like it's gonna be nasty.
oh my gosh, if that shit happens, I'm gonna fucking. Oh man, that will
I'll
be
move to North Carolina
insane,
with you.
bro.
He gonna post nut from fucking like the
Yeah.
disappear like fucking Star Wars. How he disappear after he kills fucking this bitch. He's
I'm
like,
gonna
oh
die.
my god.
I'm gonna
Oh!
die.
So yeah, like I got a couple questions for you guys. A lot better questions that puts a little bit more thoughts into it. And the first one is, if you had to describe your life in 20 words or less, what would you say? This one is very deep, so take your time on it. But don't take too long.
Damn.
I'll even
Failure.
start. A failure. Don't say that.
I,
I feel so, and I realize this. I could say blessed. To be honest, blessed. Yeah, that's literally it. Blessed. Like, and I don't need 20 words. I'll say blessed. It's a lot of things that are happening in my life, and I don't know if I'm just saying that because I'm very religious, and like I'm so thankful for everything that I have and all the opportunities and just the situation that I'm in life. Everything happened for a reason, and when I realized when it was rough, I realized that it could have been even worse. It could have been worse. So I feel blessed.
for me,
I got one.
I got
Or you go.
one. I got one meme one, and then I'll say my
This
serious
man.
after Chris said. For me, it'll be legend. Wait for it.
Oh my
Dare.
God, what a guy.
That's one
God.
word. Well,
Yeah,
technically three, but whatever.
I got an
yeah.
anagram.
Four.
Go for it. Go for it.
And oh what?
Yeah, anagram.
This
Isn't it right?
this man.
Where it's like one,
Um,
each letter has a fucking.
But that
Uh,
just so you know, those like each letter will count as a word in this too.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Well, technically, but it's
Okay.
gas.
Yes.
Gas, bro. Games, anime, and sleep.
Well,
yes. I can't
um,
believe that.
I'm on that gas as well.
well, I guess same here.
And then the other one is, this one is not as like go into it, but if you could relive the last year, would you change any decisions you made? If you would, which ones?
Mm,
Last year.
Last
Yeah,
year.
last year.
Oh, I know what
You
I would do.
relive it.
I know
Go
what
for
I
it.
would do, bro.
Yeah, what would you do?
I would put all my fucking money into Dogecoin.
This man. Oh my God.
Actually, in Bitcoin. No, actually, Dogecoin.
Dogecoin, non Dogecoin.
Yeah, on Dogecoin in like January
This
or
man.
or actually like December because it's cheaper. Before it was 1 cent. Whenever
Yep.
that was, I put all my money in there and then take it out when it was at 70 cents. That's what I would do.
Damn.
I'm on the same page.
Yeah.
I'm putting money in Doge.
True.
All of it. Because,
Same.
dude, it was less than a cent, and by the time it got to 70 cents, bro, it's going to be more than a million. 100%.
For me,
That's insane.
something I would change, and this is kind of a little bit more serious. I would change to not worry or stress as much as I did last year because of the pandemic and losing my job and stuff like that. I was stressing so much, and I would have just wished I knew everything was gonna be all right in a sense.
Not
Like
like
if
I told you that, but okay.
I know you told me that, but when you're in a mindset of just very stressed and very like what the fuck is going on, you're not gonna sometimes listen to reason. You're not gonna listen too much till later on the thing passes on and like oh shit,
Yeah.
you're right. But it was something more. It would be more of like damn. I will change my mindset like okay, you're gonna be alright in a sense. Everything's gonna go well. Don't worry
Just gotta
about it.
have faith.
Just have faith or just believe that everything's gonna be good or all gonna be alright.
Yeah. And and it goes to like mindset as well because a lot of things happen and it's so big that happen in my life where it could be it could be stressful, and I catch myself doing that. And like you would see me if I'm going through a lot of shit, you will see me in bed, not like I can't get up, I can't get out of bed because I want to sleep everything through. And I learned to just have faith, and you got to realize that a lot of the problems are in your hands probably weren't even meant for you. You know, send that problem back to God, let him deal with it, and it works. Trust me, it does. And I've done it in multiple times. It has worked. And just be patient and have faith, and you see how things will work out. We try to control things that can't control, and that's where a lot of the anxiety and stress comes from. When you start to accept that you can't control a lot of things, you're gonna see how you're gonna be less stressed and have less anxiety.
True.
Bro, that's
It
just how
is.
kind of I
It
live,
is.
bro.
It is what it is.
Huh?
Famous
It
word
is
by
what it is.
famous word by Chris. It is
Yeah.
what
It
it is.
is what it is.
I mean,
Yeah.
Michael known me the longest, and he knows like I'm usually like even Dylan too, like in class and shit. Like I'm all about like just bullying all the time, pretty much.
Yep.
And like
That's
I'll get serious and I'll do stuff like when I need to, but like most of the time I'm just chilling, you know,
a good way to live
going with the
life,
flow.
man. Yeah, go with the flow. Yeah, have plans, have goals. Um, but don't take it too serious. Like it's the end of the world. One thing ends, and that's it. It's like you know you don't want to be here anymore, and that's not how it works. And one thing that I learned throughout my journey, and I think entrepreneurship is actually a good learning lessons, is entrepreneurship is not always going to be a happy place. It's never going to be a happy place, and that's why it's one of the hardest, difficult things you could do because there's so much risk involved. You will fail, and it's guaranteed that you will fail. But with this is how many times are you are willing to get up and keep fighting and keep trying. It's not failure if you quit. The moment you quit, you failed. Just because you failed in something doesn't mean it's over. You just got to continue and keep trying and see what works best for you. So when one company or one idea does not work, it's not the end of it. You have to continue. You have to bring more ideas and see what works best for you. Okay, so this one's actually gonna be funny. If you were invisible for 12 hours, what would you do? I let's
Okay.
do what's I'm gonna go first because you know. Damn, no, I can't say that. So to be honest, rob a bank, Lily, rob a bank, steal food, my fucking fat ass. Um,
How do you want to break the law?
I'm invisible, bro.
They don't know you breaking the law.
Bruh.
Nobody will know. Nobody will know.
Yeah,
That's the
they
thing.
will know. They'll know someone stole it. They won't know you
Yeah, but they
stole
won't
Yeah,
it.
know who.
Yeah,
they
they
won't
don't
know
know
who.
who.
Still, you're fucking with all these people, bro.
And nah, you know they fucking with you. The bank's fucking you over. Might as well have fucked them over. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'll just do that. It's not that much, you know. And then other stuff that I don't wanna. I can't
Say.
say.
Yeah, it's so
You guys
dumb.
know. Oh, you know what? I can say
Well, you
this.
know
Let's
if
go
you
to a
know.
strip club. I don't know.
I don't want to be horny anymore. I just want to be happy.
That was good. What about
going
you?
going along with what you said, I probably wouldn't rob a bank, but I'd probably well, I guess maybe, but I'd try to find a place with gold. Like so, like if the bank had like gold bars, then I'd try to get the gold.
Okay.
Or
What about?
like even like maybe just like I don't know, like shops or something, gold,
Mm.
Wait,
and try and get gold and melt down the gold.
Yo,
Man,
you
I
guys,
said 12
Because if
hours,
you
not
steal
24 hours.
yeah, y'all all
because
criminals.
if you steal money, they'll have
They trace it. They can trace it.
they can trace it with the numbers on it. That's what.
Damn, y'all all
Yeah.
criminals, bro. Criminals in
yeah.
here. I didn't know I was
Wait,
talking to some criminals.
wait. I have a question. So, if you're like going into stores and stealing shit, wouldn't people see the shit floating?
Yeah, but what are they gonna do about it? They'll just get
Yeah.
Grab
scared.
you?
What, call an exorcist or some
No,
shit?
you know what
What?
you could
Grab
do?
the
You
shit?
could bring a fucking gun. They'll see a fucking floating gun and they're gonna be like, "Yeah, I ain't fucking with that shit."
I would
So more
freak the
criminal
fuck out.
charges. Alright.
What about you, Dylan? What would you do?
The thing is, I don't know because I don't want to be a criminal, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, if I were to like, because I don't know how the fuck I would be able to work if I'm invisible. So like, is this like a thing you can just like turn off and on, or like you can, or is it
It's
just
just
like
a-
against your
it's just a-
will?
My man's, you're making it so difficult.
it's
That's
just
Bro,
the
a-
you
point of these
invisible, dog.
questions. That's the point of these questions.
You're invisible. What are you gonna do if you're
You're missing
invisible?
the point
Or
of these
drop anything
questions.
from
Is
above.
to
You
go
make
in
you
depth.
make it however you want. You make it however you want. If you want a button,
That's part
you
of the
have a
fun.
super suit. You
Um,
have a controller. I don't know, whatever you
you're
wanted to
missing
do.
the
Just
point. You're
Oh,
missing the point.
man.
That's part of the point is to like theory craft and shit. Like
Oh man.
whatever. Anyways, like I probably wouldn't be able to go to work if I'm invisible. Like I don't know how the fuck that would work. So wouldn't be
You
able to
can
get
pick
a
your own
career. So I guess I would have to steal. I mean, I
It's
would
only
probably.
12 hours
It's
though.
only 12 hours.
Oh, it's only
It's only
12
12
hours.
hours.
It's only 12
Yes.
hours.
Okay, okay. If it's
Oh,
only 12,
criminals! I see how.
then
Hell yeah.
He said steal if I had to.
damn, I feel like that would be more of a nuisance than anything for me, cause like then I wouldn't be able to like go into work or anything, and like, and then I'd be like, I wouldn't have an excuse either. Like, they would have just like taken a day off or some shit. But yeah, I don't know. Probably just probably nothing, honestly,
Wow.
because I'm
That
not
was
trying to be a criminal, bro.
boring.
Nah, for me,
You
I
can do
don't
all
have
this
you
stuff.
could go-
You
Or
could
well, okay,
prank people. You
okay.
could prank people.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's what I
I'd
was about to
prank,
say.
I'd prank you
I go to
guys.
like
Yeah.
some place.
Bro, y'all capping, bro. I was gonna say, fuck it, I was gonna prank all of y'all, and cause I'm not big headed about that shit. I was gonna say I'm gonna mess with fucking all of y'all. It'd be like making your life difficult, or just fucking be like, fucking asking questions like, what the fuck was that? Is there someone in my house? And just fucking make
Yeah.
a ton of noise in your house
what I would do.
and fucking pull shit all over and move shit.
Yeah.
And you guys be like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
fuck,
that's
man?
what I would do. Yeah.
I'll fuck with you guys. Then
That's awesome. Yeah.
I've been
That's a good
fucking-
thing. Hey, man, I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, go give us a 5-star rating. We would appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you guys next week.